afternoon. I'm Tyler Danberg. The Guardians and Reds both forged ninth inning comebacks to win on Tuesday. Cleveland scored 2 in the top of the ninth to top the LA Angels 4-3 and win its 7th straight ball game. Guards are off today before hosting the Royals Friday at 7:10. Meanwhile, Cincinnati scored 7 in the top of the ninth to beat San Francisco 10-9. Slugger Eugenio Suarez hit a grand slam, but after the game, the Athletics' Ken Rosenthal reported Suarez and TJ Friedel were being placed on waivers and could be picked up by another team within 48 hours. Reds are also out before visiting the Cubs Friday at 2:20. From the NFL, per ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Browns are releasing wideout Cedric Tillman after 3 seasons. Tonight, the Browns visit the Patriots at 1. And in golf, Alex Smalley birdied the second hole to lead round 1 of the Tour Championship at -1 through 2. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
And here we go. Welcome back in, folks, to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. TLC's in the house per usual on the board. And to my right today, the former Buckeye quarterback, Justin Zwick. Jay-Z, welcome back, man.
Hey, thanks for having me back. I guess it didn't go too bad last week. I got, it kept me on the schedule, so I'm happy to be here and looking forward to today.
It's good to see you again, man. You crushed it last time. Really enjoyed the show with you, man. So good to have you back in the house, folks. I hope you guys are having a great day. We appreciate your time as always. Here's what we got coming out of the kitchen today. 12:30, Yogi Roth from the Big Ten Network, NBC. He's going to hop on, talk all things Buckeyes, and give us a preview of the conference. 1:30, we're going to talk Notre Dame with Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports. And then at 2:30, we're talking Oregon with Max Torres from Scoop Duck on 3. So 2 of the top teams in the country. We're going to get previews from those guys today. If you can't catch those live, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. Just type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. TLC, what up, big dog? How you feeling today?
You know, it sounds super, corny and cliche to do the whole, can you believe the season's right around the corner? But, seriously,
we've all been doing it.
Yeah. On Monday, it's game week, and, this show's going to be in game mode, and we're going to have, the game guests that we have. Yeah. So it's it's go time now.
You and I were kind of mapping things out before the show, just all our features, Jay-Z, that we got going on next week. Hope to get our guy Jim Lachey back on Mondays. For those that don't know, our show goes to 2 hours on Thursdays starting next week. Coach Day will have his show from noon to 1, and then we'll hop on. But yet, to his point, you and I were talking prior to the show. It's good to see high school football back. I know you were out watching some games this weekend, and so we're downhill, man, all the way to the Super Bowl, and it didn't get much better than this.
No, it doesn't. And, you just mentioned Jim Lachey. We had him on the Buckeye Show last night, and I could just listen to him talk. So he has stories after story. He is awesome. Yeah. So it's going to be good. Yeah, we got Mondays. They do Monday and Thursday shows, and so it is game week. Yeah. Coming right up. But 2 guys that you can't ask for anything better. The 2 guys that call those Ohio State
legends, man.
Yeah,
absolute legends that walk around this building. I love picking their brains whenever I get some time in, just asking them anything and everything. I just, from a distance, always study Paul and how he's gone about his business. Why would you not? If you want to be in this business, follow one of the greats. And so, it's going to be awesome. I'll have my pregame show next Saturday, bright and early, 12:30 kick. So myself, DeVere Posey, Dane Sanzenbacher, we should be, and TLC, we'll be on at 7 a.m. Next Saturday.
At least you get down there when it's not crowded, right? you get to pull right in.
Here's the thing, Jay-Z. We're now in studio.
Oh, I thought you guys were out at the, okay.
So last year was the first year where they pulled us inside.
Okay. Well, I know I did one, but it was the Big Ten championship game, so I just figured that's, how kind of worked for that.
I know you're so devastated.
So devastated to not be out there at 6 in the morning when it's freezing cold and there's nobody out there.
I'm here doing post game at 1:30 in the morning sometimes. I would rather be out there at 6 a.m.
So we're on the opposite end of that. I've always been a morning person, so it's never bothered me. You as a player, when you've had those 6 a.m. lifting sessions at practice, you're probably that's just probably muscle memory for you.
Yeah, that's, back in my day, it was 3 different lift groups. So you could go 6 a.m., 10 or 11, and afternoon. I was always a 6 a.m. guy. I love to get my workout in the morning, get it out of the way, give it everything you got, and then go on about your day. So, the early mornings, especially with kids, you just get used to it. And then, sleeping in is like 7 o'clock. Like, oh, man, I slept in today. Yeah, feeling lazy. I slept past 6, But,
that's great. That's great. So, we got week 0 this week for whatever that's worth. If you're interested in the TCU North Carolina game, there's that. You'll get a look at USC this week, the only ranked team, I believe, that is playing this weekend. But tonight we get some more preseason action, and we'll close the book on that and move forward to the regular season, especially with the Browns. Speaking of the Browns, Jay-Z, little bit of an interesting nugget coming out of their building today. Former third-round pick Cedric Tillman is no longer a Cleveland Brown. They're moving on. Want to get your take on it because I'm reading this a certain way. I wonder if you're looking at it like I am.
I think they drafted really well, and they know that they drafted really well and what they got out of those two guys. And really, they've wanted him. He's a big receiver. They've been wanting him to kind of take off up there, and it just hasn't happened. I think these young guys are just passing him by.
I think you nailed it. I think this could also speak to some of the confidence Todd Monken may have in Isaiah Bond as well. Another young guy that looks like he's got some promise and looks like he has, some upside in this league. You touched on kind of the frame that Cedric Tillman has. Maybe Denzel Boston's that replacement.
Maybe he's that replacement. I was hoping they were going to be able to move him and maybe get something, but then I think they had the receiver kid from New England went to the Texans.
Kayshon Boutte.
So it's like, there's a big receiver. Correct. That could have been our trade, But so they got to do what they got to do.
They got to do what they got to do.
We got a young group in there, and they look promising. So it is what it is.
And teams will tell you as a fan, and especially as players, how they're feeling about you or a certain position group. And to your point, when he was sitting back that night on draft night and watching those first 2 rounds, the front office bring in 2 young guys. They're putting you on notice. That's absolutely what they've done. And I went back, Jay-Z, and I looked at the 2023 draft class for the Browns. And the return, not great. Cedric Tillman, Siaki Ika, DeJuan Jones, the former Buckeye, Isaiah McGuire, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, remember that name?
One of those guys is still on the team.
Cameron Mitchell and Luke Whippler. So you had a couple Buckeyes there. But, yes, that was a swing and a miss.
That was a swing and a miss. Now, granted, the last 2 years, old AB's got it going. He's got it going.
He's got it going. It's just you think about when you're a team that's trying to just scratch and claw to get back to being just relevant, these type of swing and misses you can't have. When you're talking about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and probably 6. I mean, you got some return from DeJuan. He started some games for you, but still, that doesn't even look great with where we are right now.
And then the cherry on top is the swing and the miss at the quarterback position. Right? So it's like, you had a couple, draft classes swing and miss, and then you had the one big one where it's like, man, that was a huge cut, and man, we whiffed on that one, and we're spinning around in the batter's box, not sure what to do.
No doubt, because if you have the guy right in-house, this doesn't sting as bad because you're like, hey, we know this guy. He's legit. He can overcome some of these things. You mentioned the quarterback situation. We got a quarterback in house, folks. I couldn't wait to ask you about just the whole mess that we've seen since last Saturday. Now, I do want to say this tonight. No Deshaun. No Shador. Sounds like Dylan Gabriel. He's getting the start. We will get to see Taylor Green. I'm interested in that.
I want to see him go out there and spin it a little
guy, bit. Right? Got a lot of things that I think you could work with if you can craft that maybe in another offseason or two with what he looks like he's got going on. But going back to last Saturday, you heard the clip. You heard Deshaun calling out the fan base. Monken says, you know what? It's not about that. This is about what I'm seeing on tape. This is what I'm seeing in practice and all of those things. And so now we're at a point to where you have, at the moment, your QB1 on one side and the fan base on the other side. And I think this is a terrible place to be for an NFL franchise.
It is not a good place for anybody involved in the situation. I felt bad for Deshaun when guys, I've been booed in the shoe during a spring game. The offense has been booed. And it's just like, you take that personal. And it's like, man, we're busting our tails. I mean, in Deshaun's case, I'm busting my tail the last 2 years to try and come back to, earn some of this money that I've gotten from this city. And I've been around and I've been trying to do everything I can. And I still, get booed when I got there. Now, granted, he's acting like it's not performance-based. I think it kind of is performance-based. I think if you were out there winning and you were looking like the guy we thought you were going to be coming in, none of that stuff's going to matter. How when you came around, they're just going to be happy. And if he wins the first 2 games this year, okay, there may be some boos, but I think people are going to be like, if he looks good, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're 2-0, and he's playing good football. That's how fans, I mean, that's how it goes.
Nailed it. You nailed it.
It's the ebbs and flows of being in that situation, and he's just been down so long.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to claw out, but man, that's just tough when you know the whole city, city is against you now. Yeah, like they want you to do that.
Man,
it's like
exactly.
Why?
I know it's a horrible place to be. It really is for everybody involved because now, like you're Todd Monken, are you having to make decisions based off of we want to protect our quarterback and keep him away from our own fans and then all of that?
But then you're Todd Monken saying, "Man, this is my first head coaching job."
Yes.
I got to play the guy who I think is going to give me the best opportunity to win football games in the NFL. He doesn't care about anything else. No. This is his first time being a head coach. Mm-hmm. He's not sabotaging anything. He's saying and looking, neither options are probably great, as good as he wants them to be, but this guy is a vet. He's doing better, than Shedeur is during camp. And he wants to win because he doesn't want to come out and be 0-8 in his first season, going into the bye week. Right. He doesn't want that.
For sure.
So it is what it is. And the other thing is, and I've read online a little bit, like, if it was the other way and their, management's making you play Deshaun, this and that and the other, you would hear some leaks coming out of the locker room.
For sure.
More than likely, right?
It wouldn't shock me if that's still the case, right? When an owner cut a check for $230 large, all guaranteed, to the return on investment has been nothing. Like, give me something. Yeah. Let me see it at least, Jay-Z. This is kind of the petty in me when it comes to tonight. Is he even out there on the sideline? Like, honestly, Deshaun. Because if you're Deshaun, you're going to walk into that Hornets nest tonight. Mm-hmm. It's going to be more about him on the sideline, for fans chirping and yelling stuff and booing him. Tonight, I'm almost thinking it's best if Monken's like, hey, man, you just stay in the locker room.
Yeah, just stay home
for this one or whatever it may
don't
be.
Go to the owner's box. Don't do anything.
That's what it's going to become tonight. Yeah. If he's out there, because this is a thing now. And you know how fans are, whether they're really against Deshaun, people like to just join in on movements and have fun doing that stuff. So you've seen the posters around the city now. Like, all of this stuff has just become so big and such a distraction that, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe he'll be out there on the sideline tonight next to Shedeur, and it's a nothing burger. But my goodness, this is going to be, you talk about those 2 games down in Florida, man, going to be massive for him. It's going to be a short leash in my mind. I've been saying I don't think he gets past that Thursday night Steelers game in week 4. Maybe I'm a week late on that because it feels like maybe it's the home game against Carolina. But there you have it. You'll have the Brownies at home tonight against the New England Patriots. For whatever that's worth, if you're interested, it will be Dylan Gabriel and Talon Green. Coming up next, a new offensive coordinator in the house for Ohio State. How is Julian saying adjusting and understanding the new offense? He will tell you next. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
I'm Ben. As a licensed Kroger pharmacist, I'm committed to helping you choose the right vaccines for you and your family. Whether you have questions about the flu, RSV, or COVID vaccines, our team is ready to go above and beyond for you when it comes to providing personalized care and seasonal vaccine education. No appointment needed. At Kroger, we're here to look out for you. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site or pharmacy for details.
Inside or out, Billiards Plus has what you need for tailgating season. Fire up your new top-of-the-line grill for a perfect game day feast. Then keep the fun going inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Billiards Plus, the store you won't want to leave. Shop online or visit them on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Coghlan Kia of Dublin is now open, and we're offering grand opening savings at all 4 Coghlan Kia locations. Get 0% financing on select new 26 Kia Sportage and Sorrento. Pay 0 out of pocket when you lease a new 27 Seltos or 26 Sportage for $375 a month for 36 months. Get grand opening savings at Coghlan Kia.
Coghlan has the car for you.
With approved credit, 0% for 48 months equals $20.83 per 1,000 finance through Kia Motor Finance. Leases include 10,000 miles per year with 20 cents per mile over penalty. Excludes tax, title, and registration. No security deposit. See dealer for details and A3126.
Something big has just dropped at Hothead Burritos. Introducing barbecue pork carnitas. Juicy, mouth-watering pork carnitas. Our limited-time new citrus chipotle barbecue sauce. Savor the summer flavor. Hothead Burritos. Get up and get you some.
Hey, Bo Bishop here. From scratch-made dishes to craft cocktails built with their local spirits, High Bank is the perfect place for date
night, game day, or getting together with friends. Whether you're sipping the best vodka in America or grabbing a meal, High Bank delivers every time. Learn more at highbankcode.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Football season is here. Make sure your internet is ready. Kinetic's 100% fiber gives you the fast, reliable connection to enjoy live football on YouTube TV and watch up to 4 live games at once with Multiview. Check real-time stats and catch more big plays without missing a snap. Take your game watching to a whole new level. Switch to Kinetic. Save up to $120 on your first year of YouTube TV. Visit GoKinetic.com for details. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. Cancel anytime. Kinetic. Internet better.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Common Man here. Right now, buy 4 windows, get 4 free in 48 months with 0% interest, same as cash. Restrictions apply. Call 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
What defines Ohio? A place that dares to go first and never looks back. There's no slowing us down. At Jobs Ohio, our mission is clear. Strengthen job opportunities and empower Ohio's workforce. Another reason why Ohio is now ranked the #1 state for business by CNBC. This is what unstoppable feels like. We did it together, Ohio. Our time is now. See Ohio's momentum at jobsohio.com/Ohio's time.
It's our night! After the games are over Friday night,
Keep it locked on the Fan for high school football overtime. Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran keep you up to date with all the latest news and scores.
your home for Friday Night Lights, The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Pretty quiet as we go throughout the rest of your Wednesday. Mid to high level clouds pass on by. We'll say partly sunny overall with highs in the lower 80s. Tonight, there's a slight chance of a passing shower or storm, otherwise partly cloudy, mid 60s. For your Thursday, similar story, slight chance of a shower or storm, mainly in the afternoon. Most of us are dry, though, with a partly sunny sky and highs in the lower 80s. For The Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
1, 2, 3. Here in The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ew. This is Rothman and Ice.
That it is. Welcome back in. Former Buckeye quarterback Justin Zwick in the house today. Before we get into some Julian saying sound, we'll let you know about the great team up at the McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. In the summer, with the great deals that they have waiting for you, check out their great website, folks. Over 200 new vehicles that you can look at. The McDaniel GM Superstore believes in nothing but transparency with every single car deal that they do. Take it from me. I bought my car from there, and I've been loving riding around on the roads with my new vehicle. They have a 26 Traverse right now. You can lease for as low as $435 a month. Terms and restrictions apply. Again, it's not a long drive up there to Marion. It is well worth the wait. Make sure you do it. AR and I are loving teaming up with the McDaniel GM Superstore. We want you on the squad as well. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Jay-Z, we're not going to have to wait too much longer to see Julian saying going into year 2. And I know there's a lot of people so excited about it. And he's a guy, too, that I don't know if he listens to some of the stuff that's out there. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But there's some people that feel like, okay, as far as him being up there with the Dante Moores and the Arches and the quarterbacks that are ready to go to the NFL, that there's some things that he still has to figure out. So, I love when guys can find anything that can motivate them. Again, maybe that's something that's going to motivate him. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he's just focused about ball and ball only. But you bring in now Arthur Smith, right? He comes in, pairs well with Ryan Day, in my opinion. I think that's going to work. But there's always a little bit of how is that going to work out for the quarterback when you're resetting at offense? Let's hear from Julian and how he's understanding the offense to this point.
Having the experience of last season, but then also having, having the offseason to work with Coach Smith and, just me in spring compared to me and now with, the understanding of the offense has grown so much.
Justin, kind of paint the picture of what he talked about there. When he and Arthur Smith, they meet for the first time. How do you think that works with those two guys getting to know each other? But I guess more importantly, the offense and how they want that to look.
Well, I imagine, one of their first meetings had to be like, all right, hey, Julian, we're going to sit down and we're going to go through last season. Okay. I want you to walk me through the offense. I want you to tell me what you're thinking. Maybe not every game, every snap, but a large amount, right? Because I think Arthur probably wants to come in and get an idea of what the philosophy was, what these guys are used to, and, have the quarterback kind of speaking that to him instead of sitting down with Ryan or sitting down with the other offensive coaches, like, hey, I want to hear this from the quarterback. I imagine there's something to do with that, early on. And then I think Arthur is just going to bring his little own flavor into things, and we were talking last night on the Buckeye Show. There's, the 50 best NFL prospects. Julian's not even on the list. And I'm thinking to myself, you have a kid who was in New York last year who is now being coached by an NFL head coach / NFL coordinator. How do you not see value in somebody who was so good last year getting that tutelage now under an NFL coach? And what Arthur's going to probably do with him this year, and just the I don't want to say pressure, but he's putting more on his shoulders. Probably, hey, I'm giving you 2 calls. You get up to the line of scrimmage, you figure it out, and you put us in the best position. I think there is going to be a lot of that this year. And I think just getting coached by a guy who's done it at the highest level for so long, I feel like that has to elevate Julian's game even more than what we expected. I mean, Ryan Day's, this is what, his 3rd quarterback that is going to be his 2nd-year guy. And the other 2 did really well, in their 2nd year. I mean, they did well in their first 2, but, I mean, they came back even stronger. Yeah, that, with Arthur Smith coming in and the little wrinkles and the little things, the guy was coaching Aaron Rodgers last year. Right. Hall of Famer, I'm sure he probably picked up some things. He probably gave Aaron some things, but he can talk to Julian about that kind of stuff. And I think it is huge. And Julian's confidence, his moxie coming into the season, you can tell. Like, he has a firm grip on things. He understands what they're trying to get after. And he knows he just has to distribute to all these playmakers that he has on the outside.
The way that I'm kind of looking at the Arthur Smith edition is like, you go to a restaurant and they've got their go-to items that you can get round the clock, year round, right? Whether it's a steak, whether
it's the signature item, signature item on the side.
That's the offense that's already been set by Ryan Day. Yeah. Now you bring in another chef into the kitchen, and hey, we got some new seasonal items to add to this. And I think that's the excitement of what you're talking about with Arthur Smith, is his experience of, hey, Coach Day, you go about it this way. What if I added maybe this route to that same player? Whatever it may be. There's so many things that those guys can unpack. I think that's great. And when you just have all these minds collectively that have all this experience attached to a quarterback that sounds like, according to those coaches and some of the players, that from the neck up, this guy's so dialed in with what you can throw at him and his processing ability and all of those things that it takes to play at a high level. I think people should be excited about what they're going to see on offense and what this offense can be going into 2026.
Yeah, I think the marriage of the two of them should have been talked about a lot more in the offseason, because I think it is a huge deal to have somebody like that come in. Now, it's not going to change the offense dramatically, but, I mean, he's going to maybe look at what issues did we have last year? Red zone, basically, right? Mm-hmm. We were slow tempo-wise, and we were red zone.
That Indiana game, especially the red zone stuff.
Couldn't figure that out. Maybe he's going to, hey, I got a plan for this. Mm-hmm. Or, you've heard the defensive guys talking about, man, it seems like they're scheming us up during practice. Like, we don't know, or we can't tell if it's a run or a pass, like just how they're going about it. When you have players talking like that, like that's got to be exciting. And I think Ryan, even coming out of these last couple scrimmages, I'm sure he's dialed it back a little bit, but I think he's feeling pretty good about the way things are going, offensive side of the ball.
No doubt.
And so that has a lot to do with Arthur coming in and probably just putting his little own flavor on things.
We know he's got great chemistry with Jeremiah Smith. I think there is some curiosity to what we see next Saturday when it comes to who else is going to step up and be catching the rock from Julian Sand. Let's hear from him on how he's building chemistry and who are some of the guys he's building chemistry with in the receiver room.
Yeah, I think, me and Jeremiah and Brandon have always, had a lot of chemistry just because of last season playing together, and, that those guys get a ton of targets last season. So I think, building that chemistry with Devin and then with Chris and Brock has been great to kind of build that. And then with the tight end room, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I've known Bennett for a long time, me and Bennett. But having like the new guys like Mason, Hunter, have those guys come in at tight end and build that chemistry has been great too.
Justin, how long does that usually take, or how long can that take and like especially McEwen? Let's bring him in, coming in, whole new program, level up in competition for him. Like for those two guys, like paint the picture of what that's like when you have to kind of start from ground zero with a guy like that.
Yeah, it can be hard. Now, granted, back in our day, like we didn't have guys coming in and out, yearly. So it was just like the guys we came in with were our receivers. So you got to know them over the years, but for a guy like Devin McEwen or Kyle Parker coming in, first year, I think you got to probably start with just, let's go throw the route tree. Let me just see what you do here. Let's see how you get out of breaks, how you handle this, what yardage you like to get to, what versus what I like you to get to, and then learn the offense. And then I can start talking to you about the philosophy of, all that. So I'm sure, early on in spring ball, it was kind of just like, all right, I'm figuring this out. Summertime, they get the OTAs, they get some more time to throw and, some off time where they can do their own things. The receivers, the new guys probably have pretty good understanding of what the offense is going to look like, what their roles might be.
Yeah.
And then you start nailing down on that. And, all right, this is how I want this played. And when we call this, you're going to be my first read, but I need you this. I need you here. I need, this to happen this quick. Yeah. And then you just kind of go with it. But I imagine it took those guys a little bit of time to really feel comfortable with the playbook. And you don't want to throw too much at them at first. First day of practice, I'm not going to yell at a guy for not being where I thought he was going to be because, you were just at UTSA, you're just up here for the first practice. I'm not going to be that hard on you. Yeah. Now, I'm sure Julian's able to rip into any of them and, kind of, what I'm saying, like just be that guy saying, all right, no, this is what I need. This is what you have to do if we want to be successful. And I'm sure the summertime was probably, if you ask the receivers, the new guys, they're probably like, yeah, by OTAs in the summers or whatever you call them, like I felt pretty good about what we were calling. I wasn't thinking about my route going up. I'm thinking about, all right, if the defense is here, I got to do this. It's just not a, this is my role. It's now I understand what everything is, and I understand how my role plays into this play.
How important are the nonverbal communication things? Like, because we got some big time games on the road this year, right? When you talk about Indiana, USC, those could be tough environments to deal with when you talk about noise and all that. So to kind of break that down for us, the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, the communication or lack thereof verbally when you got to take that on the road.
Well, I mean, it gets loud. It gets loud at some of these places. Boy, I'll tell you. A lot of hand signals and a lot of times it's dummy signals, but you can tell them like, all right, you might give them a little hint. Hey, if they're here, look for me, or I'm going to give you a little whatever, and then you have just subtle hand movements because you don't want to be, you don't want to be out there like making a scene. It's just kind of like a throw your hand behind your back a little, give them a 3 or so, just give them something to. All right, yep, we're on the same page now. I can go because when you get out there, man, you can't hear. I mean, the whiteout at Penn State. I mean, you're in the huddle, we can't hear each other, let alone you're at the line of scrimmage, So, I mean, that is huge, and I think that stuff is pretty easy. I mean, we would all just get together with the receivers and, all right, hey, we put this in today. What can everybody remember that is a hand signal for this? Or, then you just kind of start bouncing ideas off the people, and then it's like, oh, that clicks for everybody.
Right.
And now that's that signal for that play or that route or if we want to make that check. So a lot of that goes in together, just the receivers, quarterbacks kind of figuring those things out and how we want to run things to not be too over the top, but we need to be able to have that in our back pocket.
It's good stuff. Coming up in 2 minutes, Yogi Roth from the Big Ten Network and NBC. He'll hop on to talk about Ohio State and everything else happening around the conference. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
This year, I'm going back to school at My Computer Career. They helped me get financial aid, and I chose between online or on-campus classes to fit my needs. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take their free career evaluation. It's never too late to go back to school.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC's still cooling, but something's not quite right. Seems it's working awfully hard, but I'm so hot at night.
Let us have a look. We'll figure out what's wrong. We'll recommend the best plan to get it running strong.
Get a free diagnostic AC check with repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Anthony Rothman here. Unlock your home's potential with a home equity line of credit from Telhio. For a limited time, receive a special rate as low as 6.25% APR. Visit telohio.org to apply.
Member NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Matt, are you still driving that great car you got from McDaniel GM Superstore?
Every day, man. Bought it there. No regrets, no hidden fees, and no games.
The 26 Silverado 1500. Right now, save up to $13,000 off MSRP.
13 grand?
Wow. And 0% APR for 60 months.
Or lease one for as low as $339 a month.
Terms and conditions apply for qualified buyers. McDaniel GM Superstore, north on 23 off Route 95 in Marion. McDanielGMSuperstore.com.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
That you are. Welcome back in. Former Buckeye quarterback Justin Zwick in the house today. Going to light up right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline line. Excited about this one. Yogi Roth, NBC, Big Ten Network, joining the party right now. Yogi, welcome in. Appreciate your time. How you doing, my man?
Doing great. Fired up to talk to y'all. Justin Zwick, let's go. 5-star QB. Come on, man. Let's get it on.
I don't even know if they had 5 stars back in my day. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, well, I do appreciate you, man. You contributed to a book I wrote a couple years ago. I don't know if you recall.
Oh, I do recall. That's a 5-star quarterback. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you for that, man.
Yeah.
It's on my
I didn't
desk
put that
at all
together
times.
until just now. That's awesome, though. Yep.
Yeah. Your advice was incredible for so many people. I hear from a lot of parents around it. So thank you for doing that.
It's good stuff. It's awesome. Go check out that book, 5-Star Quarterback. Yo, we're fired up to talk to you, man. Prior to us bringing you on, we were reacting to some Julian Sandstown, and we were talking about the addition of Arthur Smith with Ryan Day and just all this coming together. So when you look at where Julian was last year, adding Arthur Smith to the mix, we know what Jeremiah Smith's going to bring to the table. Your thoughts on the Buckeye offense going into 2026?
I think he's going to kill it. I mean, and I'll go on this one a little bit. Like I've read a bunch in the off season where it's is Julian just a game manager, and I think when you get to the top of the mountain as a quarterback, I saw it. You go back to Andrew Luck, Marcus Mariota. Think of like the guys coming into a season that were the dudes. Matt Barkley. I'm just kind of giving you some names from the West Coast that were that guy, and there's many that you've been around over the course of your 2 careers. And I always look at someone when they run an offense, their job is to manage the game and master the playbook. And Julian came in as an Elite 11 MVP for whatever that is worth, but as a top quarterback in America. Came in, competed for the job with Will Howard, they win the national championship. Last year is a Heisman finalist. I feel like that kind of gets forgotten when we're talking about the top quarterbacks in America. And now you look at all the weapons. Here comes an NFL offensive coordinator, his 3rd offensive coordinator in 3 years. And it's usually that's a bad thing. And for him, he just added to me like functional football intelligence from one coordinator to the next, all under the umbrella of Ryan Day, who's, one of the best offensive minds, I think, in all of college football. So I think he's going to kill it. I know that the trends and all the articles are saying like teams are huddling and slowing down, and I get why, and saving reps for the end of the season. My hunch, fellas, is that like tempo in drives are going to come back, especially when you got weapons, because explosive plays and turnovers still predict 95% of all games. I think Ohio State's going to rip. I think this offense is going to look like it did back with C.J. Stroud, Dwayne Haskins. Like I'm anticipating that, and I think he's going to have a heck of a season.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think being coached by a guy who's done it at the highest level in the NFL is just going to up his game. And I've been doing a lot of these shows this summer. A lot of lists come out. And Julian just seems to be missing on a lot of these different things. Do you think it's based off of, the last 2 games of last year that everybody's just holding on to? Or does he just not translate to the NFL, or the scouts don't like him that way? I mean, just last night we were going over the top 50 NFL prospect list, and Julian Sain's nowhere to be found. What do you think the reason behind that is?
I don't know. I'll say this, though. I went to the College Football Hall of Fame game because my old roommate, Larry Fitzgerald, got inducted. And I went and shadowed the NBC crew, which was so cool. And I go down on the field in pregame, and I bump into Bryce Young. Well, I get to meet, it's really one of the coolest things I get to do in my life is get to meet, the young Justin Zwicks at 15, 16 years old. And I love that. I've been doing that since 2009. So you meet Bryce, and I'm bigger than him, and then you see him in the NFL, and he's thriving. So I always think, and, I'm getting ready for my games this week, and I've got one with Drake Lindsay, who's at 6'5" and 235 and looks like a, pro-style Ryan Mallett-esque passer, if you will. Kind of looks like you, Justin, from back in the day. And then you go to, I'm calling Damon Williams, who I think is the most challenging guy to defend in America, and he's 5'10". And I just think there's something that gets lost often in translation of, like, these quarterbacks, like, they play at their size, at their acumen, at their skill level their whole lives. And I think for Julian, it's not like he's tiny and it's not like he's a monster. He's sitting right in the middle. And I think he's going to – why is he off those lists? I can't answer that because I'm definitely not off of my list. But I look at Dante Moore, pure passer. I think at Malik Washington, let's just stay in the Big Ten, if you will, pure passer. I think of the aforementioned Drake Lindsey, pure passer. Damon, super challenging to defend. You got Aiden Childs, kind of exciting to see what happens. You got Rocco Beck, the winningest quarterback currently in college football. You got Nico Imaliava and Jaden Mayava out here on the West Coast as well. Like, there's a lot of names to talk about. And I think sometimes with Ohio State, they're kind of given the benefit of the doubt of, like, yeah, they're top 5 team. All good. And let's talk about everything else. That may be a reason. It's not a reason for me, because when you watch him on tape, he's surgical. And I think you watch his maturity grow. I was there and talked with him in the offseason. You feel that presence that always happens when a guy gets another year under his belt. And yeah, I'll say this. I don't think he gives a rip about a list, which is a good thing.
Yep. Yogi Roth from the Big Ten Network and NBC joining us here on Rothman and Ice, talking all things Big Ten ball. Make sure you go follow him right now on Twitter and X at Yogi Roth. Yogi, let's go up to Ann Arbor, because there's been a lot of chatter about Bryce Underwood this all season. People taking visits up to Ann Arbor, coming out of that thing feeling not so great about what they've seen from a young quarterback going into year 2. So what have you heard? What have you seen? What's your understanding of how Bryce Underwood's coming along going into a second year up in Michigan?
Yeah, well, I was there day one of training camp, and Todd Blackledge and I, we do a podcast every Monday together, and he was there a couple weeks later because he's got their opener, and we just did a segment talking about them. To me, as I watched him, for whatever it's worth, I did not see the glaring issues that I think were reported. And I think to take it with a grain of salt, because he's Bryce Underwood, because he's one of one in terms of, Caleb Williams was one of one in terms of the first transfer quarterback to make a bunch of money. Bryce is one of one of, like, the first locally homegrown QB to make a bunch of money and then play the freshman, and then all the stuff that happened in the offseason. I mean, he walks down the street, it seems like it's a storyline. He throws an incompletion in practice, it's a storyline. But when I watched him, he looked on time, he looked on rhythm. And those are things that I believe in. I believe your feet are tied to your eyes as a quarterback. So imagine like a piece of dental floss coming out of your eyelids to your feet. Wherever your eyes go, can your feet follow? And I watched that. Now, granted, I don't watch it in live periods. He's not going to go live until they kick the thing off in a week, on NBC with Todd Cullen against Western Michigan. We'll find out, like, how he does from the pocket. I do know this from spending time with Kyle Whittingham for the better part of the last 20 years, calling a bunch of games, and their system when you study it. They also will know what his strengths are and areas of growth. And I say that of, like, you'll see, I think, QB run. I think you'll see speed option. I think you'll see RPOs. I think you'll see getting the ball out. And that's where maybe in year 2, that's where he'll be at his best. And then I'll add one more layer on it. He trains a lot out here in Southern California with Jordan Palmer, who's a friend of mine. And, Jordan raves about the growth that he's had, mechanically. Now, we'll find out when it's live and defenses are coming and blitz packages are coming, and he's seeing exotic things, which they will see, obviously, in week 2 against Oklahoma. But I think he's going to show tremendous growth. I expect him to be an absolute threat in this league. His challenge is going to have discipline. He's going to have discipline around praise and blame. And I always say that to quarterbacks, like, how do you navigate in praise and blame? Because they all are all the same. And it's a chapter that we wrote in the book 5-Star QB that we referenced. That'll be the biggest thing to deal with, because that is hard at that age, especially in a place like Michigan.
A lot of great talent in the Big Ten. You just ran off a ton of quarterback names. Who's one that maybe isn't being talked about the most, that is kind of like a dark horse to have a great year at the quarterback position for the Big Ten?
That's a good question. I talk a ton about Malik Washington. I feel like the country doesn't. He had a better year last year than Bryce. He looked to me to be the best freshman in the country. He's all of 6'5". He's all of 235. He's, a guy, again, I got to meet in high school. You watch him. He's absolutely pure. He's not flawed mechanically. They got another offensive coordinator in Clint Trickett. He comes to town, after spending time in a bunch of different places. So I'm really curious to see what they do with him. Also, I go back to Drake Lindsey. It's talked about when it's Julian, Dante, Damon, and Jaden Mayava. Those are kind of the 4 that I think get the most oxygen in this league. If you said to me in 5 years, you got to take a guy on your team in the NFL, it'd be hard for me not to talk about Malik Washington and Drake Lindsay. I mean, you go back and watch the bowl game and Drake and his anticipation, and study like what he's asked to do. And I'm going to talk about it all Thursday night in their opener next week against Eastern Illinois. He can spin it. He's carrying a bunch at the line of scrimmage. He's one of the few guys, I don't want to say only, but he's one of the very few that turns their back to a defense in like traditional old school play action pass game. And this is the West Coast offense. This is like the Shanahan tree, McVay tree, et cetera, that we hear about all the time. I think he's a guy that I think deserves more play. And then I'm probably most curious to see what Aiden Charles does with Chip Kelly. Aiden's always had a ton of ability. I mean, he's going to look better than, almost everybody. I mean, he looks kind of like Bryce Underwood. He's physically just imposing when he walks onto the field. Chip's only going to play to his strength. So I'm really curious what they do. They got a tough schedule. And then probably two super sleepers, Ryan Brown. Ryan Brown took a ton of flack last year at Purdue. That's the part of this league. Like, everybody got better. Everybody got better, man. So I can't wait to watch what he does. He's had a ton of time this offseason training, working on his mechanics. He added 20 pounds. I just think that the ball is going to have more velocity on it, more force on it, better location on it. Year two with this head coach and Coach Odom and the offensive coordinator. So he's probably another guy. But you got to make a case up and down. And even some of these first-year transfers at Wisconsin and Nebraska, they'll be fun to track.
Yogi, we'll get you out of here on this one. We've got the national championship game on in the studio right now from last year. So let's end this with Indiana, because they're resetting at quarterback. Some new playmakers as well have to level up and try to hold it down for the guys that have moved on to the NFL from a year ago. So looking at Indiana with now Josh Hoover under center and some of the new names on the outside and on that offense, how are you feeling about that unit at the moment?
I feel really good about this unit at the moment. Let's just start with the offensive front. Fifth years, however we want to call them now. Do we call them Richard seniors or fifth-year players? There's 4 fifth-year players and a third-year player starting on the offensive line. They have a ton of experience. And that, I think, is the biggest shocker. When you go to practice, and I was there a week ago, it was like, oh, my gosh. And then you go to the defensive front, and they look better than they did a year ago, right? Because they're not playing with, whether it's Aiden Fisher or whether it's some of the defensive ends. They hit the portal with productivity over potential. They look like Ohio State. They look like SC. They look like the big dogs physically. They look like Oregon is the best front, I think, in the league. We'll see how they handle it. But the point is, like, they're going one-on-ones every day. So I don't have any reason to believe that Indiana's going to fall off. Now, what do they need? They need a third receiver. We'll see how that shakes out. I mean, Charlie Becker, he's a beast. You look at what he did last year, and it's so impressive. And then they bring in Nick Marsh from Michigan State. I mean, he's a true game changer. So who's that third receiver? They're going to run the daylights out of the ball. They're 3 deep at running back. And then, to me, the back end, I'll be really curious to see what that looks like. But their front seven, their offensive front, and then Josh Hoover, I know everybody makes a ton about the interceptions, but his growth from spring, I saw him in spring, and then I saw him at camp because I'm going to have their game week 3 of the season against Western Kentucky. And he has jumped. Whether it's his confidence, whether it's the location, discernment, which is my favorite word at that position, he has been impressive. And that's kind of the standard. He went viral. I think he was on BTN talking about what it's like to go to Indiana. And his line was, it can be overwhelming because the standard every day is so high. And that's why I think we've seen Curtis Rourke and Fernando Mendoza go in spring. They were okay. And then camp a little bit better. But then in the season, look out. And we know their schedule is set up to do just that. So, by the time they host Northwestern on a Friday night and kick off league play, and then they go to Rutgers, then at Nebraska, like, they got a nice little stretch there to get right when Ohio State comes to town in the middle of October.
It's going to be awesome. That's a really good breakdown of the Big Ten. Yogi, we appreciate your time. Hopefully we can catch up with you down the road. Best of luck on the calls, and we'll link up with you soon, my man. Thank you so much.
Hey, anytime, Phil. Appreciate you.
Thank you. There he goes, Yogi Roth from NBC and the Big Ten Network. Coming up next, Jay-Z, Brendan Sorsby, he's been out of sight, out of mind for a minute. However, Texas Tech isn't done figuring things out at the quarterback position. We'll tell you all about it next with Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America.
There's no joke there.
We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
As summer starts winding down, it always seems to happen the same way. The backpacks are packed, the school forms are signed, and suddenly the calendar fills up faster than you ever expected. Between the last-minute appointments, school shopping, and getting everyone back into a routine, it's easy for those projects around the house to keep getting pushed to next weekend. Here's the good news. Your roof doesn't have to be one of them. At Newman Roofing, our team of value-driven professionals makes the process simple. You'll get honest answers, clear communication, and recommendations built around your home's needs. No sales pitches. Whether it's a new roof, siding, or gutters, we'll help you check it off your to-do list with the kind of white glove service that's earned the trust of families across Central Ohio for more than 30 years. So instead of worrying about your home, you can spend what's left of this summer making memories with the people who matter most. Newman Roofing, built around family. Ours protecting yours. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
Hey Central Ohio, Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and we buy houses for cash. If you've got a house you need to sell, this is your season. Inherited, behind on payments, just over it? Whatever brought you here, we can help. We buy as is, we cover all closing costs, and there are zero commissions, period. Just a fair cash offer and you choose your closing date. People are making moves right now, and we make it simple to be one of them. One call is all it takes. We'll get you a fair cash offer, fast, no pressure, no obligation. Hundreds of your neighbors have already sold the easy way, and we've got 5-star reviews and BBB A+ rating to back it up. Leave the stress and mess to us. We're based right here in Columbus, and we're ready when you are. Call us at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, family-owned. Call 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355.
Your next getaway is closer than you think at your Columbus Zoo. Baby elephants, playful tigers, hungry giraffes. Explore North America Trek and discover rescued bear cubs, eagles, and more. Plan your visit today at columbuszoo.org.
Coghlan Kia of Dublin is now open, and we're offering grand opening savings at all 4 Coghlan Kia locations. Get 0% financing on select new 26 Kia Sportage and Sorrento. Pay 0 out of pocket when you lease a new 27 Seltos or 26 Sportage for $375 a month for 36 months. Get grand opening savings at Coghlan Kia.
Coghlan has the car for you.
With approved credit, 0% for 48 months equals $20.83 per 1,000 finance through Kia Motor Finance. Leases include 10,000 miles per year with 20 cents per mile over penalty. Excludes tax, title, and registration. No security deposit. See dealer for details and A3126.
The magic of Harry Potter is now at Tim's. Choose your Hogwarts house donut. Summon the refreshing flavor of sparkling Patronus, or seek out the delicious golden snitch Timbit. Try them all at Tim's.
At participating U.S. restaurants while supplies last.
Common Man here for my friends at Care Heating and Cooling. Summertime napping season is upon us. What's that mean? Well, that means for me, a little nap on the leather couch. I got the ceiling fan on, but if that AC's not working properly, that nap turns into crap. Am I right? You got to make sure that AC's in tip-top shape, and the only people to call are my friends at Care Heating and Cooling. The message on their homepage says, we care about your comfort, because they do. If you're not comfortable in your own home, they start to get itchy and scratchy. Here's what you need to know about my friends at Care. They've won the Lennox Centurion Award for 17 years in a row. Now, if you're not in the biz, you don't know what that is, but I'm going to tell you, it's given to the top 5% of Lennox dealers in the country each year. Their service techs are the best in the business, and there's not a problem they can't solve, except maybe the meaning of life. They had no answer when I asked them. But think about living without central AC. Mess you up. My friends at Care also have easy online scheduling. CareHeatingandCooling.com. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
It's high school football on the Fan. Join Tyler Danberg and Coach Larry Wolf for the Capital Ford of Columbus High School Football Game of the Week.
This week, Bishop Watterson and Pickerington Central.
Live coverage starts Friday at 6:30. The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Truth of the matter is, you're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
Thanks again to Yogi Roth from the Big Ten Network for giving us some of his time. Really good interview, really good breakdown of some things to come in the Big Ten. You missed that, don't worry. You can always catch anything we do from noon to 3 wherever you get your podcast. Take us with you. Type in Rothman and Ice, everything we do. From noon to 3, it's going to be right there for you. Brendan Sorsby took over headlines for a while, right? This all season. Tough look for him with the betting stuff. Goes back to his time at Cincinnati, his time at Indiana, and now just poof, he's just been out of sight, out of mind.
Guys are so say.
Yeah, man.
Never be seen again.
Exactly. Never seen again. And then for a while, coming out of their camp, it sounded like, okay, yeah, we lost him. That stinks. But in-house, they had a guy by the name of Will Hammond that they sound like they're pretty confident in. But how confident are they? Because we found out last night that they added Thomas Castellanos to their roster. And he is one of those guys that is taking advantage of the rule that is out there, that the 5-5 rule, right? And so Thomas Castellanos has been in the Miami Dolphins rookie minicamp, or was there in May, trying out for them as a receiver. But since this is happening in the Big 12, it seems like he's found a little bit of a loophole to wiggle his way back into this. This stuff's getting pretty wild. Big 10, SEC, they've slammed the door on these guys. SEC throwing out penalties for coaches and stuff if you go down that road again. But I think this is pretty telling, because this is a team that we know, Jay-Z, is all in financially on trying to win a national championship. They had Will Hammond in-house, and they said, you know what, here's $5 million for Brendan Sorsby. So, again, in a similar conversation we were having about Cedric Tillman off the top, when a guy's already there, and if you're Will Hammond,
you're bringing somebody in
at that clip, and then you're doing it again with Thomas Castellanos, this is a team that I know a lot of people are going to have eyeballs on just to see what it looks like, removing him from the equation, that being Brendan Sorsby. But I just find how they're doing their business pretty interesting down there in Lubbock.
Well, you know, it is an interesting one, because you thought they were going to let Sorsby play, and then finally an adult stood up in the room and was like, no, all right, we're not doing this. Okay, That's great. That's fine. Hey, we feel really good about who we have here. You know, he's ahead of schedule in his recovery. I think he had maybe an ACL that he was coming back from. You know, so then they turned into positive about who they had, which they, at that point in time, you have to. And they've probably been talking him up. And all of a sudden, no. Well, all that nice stuff we were saying, we meant it, but we're going to go ahead and bring in this guy who is probably going to battle with you at the quarterback position. So, you know, maybe his recovery isn't coming along as well, and they feel like they need to go get something, but they're also a team, like you were talking about. Like, we know they're spending money, and they're trying to become, you know, that next tier program that is there year in and year out. And I feel like they see this as a chance to, like, all right, we're going to give this a go, because this is our best chance to try and get back to the playoffs and maybe make a run.
Yeah.
Now, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, the Big Ten, the SEC came out pretty quickly and shut that down. You know, do they play? Do they play him if they, you know, like, how does that look, right?
We're all in wait and see mode with
if we're
that.
not allallowed to do it, then we're not going to play a team that's doing it.
Correct.
You know, like, I don't know how that works. I mean, I'm guessing we just go out and play just because it is what it is. But, you know, we still got, 2 days until the season starts. Anything can happen.
For sure. So we'll see if he's fully in the clear with this down there. But at least when you talk about stuff on the field, he's a guy you may recognize the name, because remember, week 1, when Florida State clipped Alabama,
he was talking
big talk after that game, Jay-Z. And look, I get it, right? You're a guy
You're feeling yourself.
This is one of the best moments of your life. You knock off one of the biggest brands in the sport. You're absolutely, to your point, feeling yourself. Just went back and looked at the box score in that game. It was 9 of 14 through the air for $152 and not a single touchdown. However, he's 16 carries for 78 on the ground and a touchdown there. And so, Alabama held to 17 points in that game. And so
that's not even a game to be spouting off at as a quarterback.
Exactly.
I mean, exactly. I'm giving everybody else props. Like, man, I didn't play so well today.
Right.
You know, I had to do what I could to help the team, but you know, I'm glad we got out here with a win.
And that's when the noise started to get turned up real loud on. Wait, is Kalen DeBoer? Did we make the right hire? Did we lose it to Florida State in this fashion? So I think maybe skill set wise, Jay-Z, maybe what they want to tap into, because he did have dreams of going to the NFL and being a playmaker. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of a hybrid role for him at Texas Tech, a chess piece you can throw out there under center, maybe a running back, wide out, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's thinking, like, this is what I'm projected in the league. This is what I just did in a mini camp. Not quarterback, receiver, something else. This may be an opportunity for him to say, all right, I want to come in. Hey, Will, I'm not trying to come after your job. I want to work on my craft of what maybe I can do down the road and just see how that goes. But I think there's we'll see what happens with that. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him suit up for Texas Tech.
Me either. Game number 1 for the Red Raiders. They're going to get it going against Abilene Christian next Saturday at Oregon State the week after that. Houston comes in ranked 23rd right now, but that is the only ranked opponent on their schedule right now is Houston at 23. And so that kind of tells us, look, it's not the end-all, be-all with the AP poll and all that, but there's people that are looking around that conference right now, Jay-Z, and they ain't seeing it, brother, that there's not going to be a whole bunch of good football, or high-end football, I should say, being played in that conference this year.
No doubt about it. And, I mean, I think in Texas is like up at the top just because. I think they've been And they got a little bit more money than everybody. They got a guy who has all of it and says, I don't care, I want to be a winner.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's going to be some good football coming out. Now, you know, with injuries and everything else, who knows what can happen? Who knows what that schedule looks like if they have a couple more top 25 teams, you know, on there by the end of the year. But yeah, some good football. I mean, if they could just play defense, you know, and then that league, I mean, they'd probably be pretty good. But, you know, they like to score points and not really do much else.
Speaking of the Big 12, it's been at least in my neck of the woods on social media and all that stuff, a quiet off season for Colorado and Prime. Like, not a lot of just, hey, this is what we're...
Other than the videos you see where it's like, this is a JV team. You've seen them.
But it's just like nationally, I think people are just, they've moved on from that, right? They had the hype train early on, Shador, Travis Hunter, all the celebrities, this and that.
Coming from Jackson State, like, hey, here's a great story. Let's see how this goes.
No, it's just hush, hush. No talk about them. And so we'll see what they bring to the table. Jay-Z at the top of the hour, he's bringing to the table a few things on offense he's looking forward to watching when it comes to Ohio State as they go into a new season. That's happening right after the break. Don't move, folks. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Our double hung is as good as it gets. There's something really simple. It's called an interlock. We interlock our windows. The interlock is the absolute best way to alleviate air infiltration. With the interlock, it's harder to break into. When you interlock the sashes, it makes a better window. It's just a darn good window, and we're very proud of it.
Call Rizzotti today at 777-4806.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Football season is here, and Germain Toyota of Columbus is kicking off a deal that's too tough to beat. Now, through August 31st, 0% financing for 48 months on all 2026 Toyota Tundras and Tacomas. From hauling your tailgate gear to tackling your daily drive, the Tundra and Tacoma are ready for game day and beyond. 0% for 48 months on all 2026 Tundras and Tacomas through August 31st. I can't say it enough. Score yours today at Germain Toyota of Columbus at I-70 and Bryce Road. With approved credit, see dealer for complete details.
How many of you have had your garage floor done? I'll wait for the answer. Yeah, that's enough. How many of you think it looks like crap? That's because it is crap. One quick call to Comer and Cross Concrete Floor Coatings at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they can install a gleaming new Comer and Cross garage floor in one day. A Comer and Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. And here's the best part. It is guaranteed your garage floor will never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And listen, you lazy bum, they'll even take the stuff out of the garage for you. They're all certified uniform pros. No subcontractors at Comer and Cross. This is a premier product with premier results, and they hired a premier endorser to tell you about it. For your quick and easy Comer and Cross garage floor quote, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR now. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to comercross.com, C-O-M-E-R cross.com.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
Dan Dreesen played 12 seasons with the Reds in the 1970s and 80s, won a couple of World Series rings. He was a major contributor to the Big Red Machine. And this date, August 27th, was twice a highlight date in his long career. On this date in 1977 against the Phillies, the Reds trailed by a run with 2 out in the 9th inning when Dreesen hit a game-tying inside-the-park home run. And in 1979, again on this date, and again against the Phillies, and again with 2 out in the 9th, Dreesen hit a triple to win the game. Dan Dreesen, Reds Hall of Famer, with 2 career highlights on this August 27th. This date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
In the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
Are you having trouble with your air conditioning or heating? Don't stress. Instead, call Logan Services. Right now, get a service call or maintenance visit for just $79. We service all brands and offer upfront pricing, no pressure repairs, and the fast, friendly service you've come to expect. Schedule your appointment now and get comfortable. We work in your neighborhood and we make home comfort easy. Logan Services.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. The Browns close their preseason when they visit the Patriots tonight at 8, which can be heard on The Fan after Buckeye Show. Dylan Gabriel will start at quarterback for Cleveland. 6th rounder Taylon Green will back him up. Earlier today, the Browns reportedly released wideout Cedric Tillman, a third-round pick in 2023. Meanwhile, the Bengals had their first undefeated preseason in 20 years with a win at the Eagles Friday at 8. Baseball, both Guardians are off today. Cleveland next hosts Kansas City Friday at 7:10. Guards have won 7 straight and are 2 games back at first in the AL Central. Cincinnati visits the Chicago Cubs Friday at 2:10. Per reports, the Redlegs sent slugger Eugenio Suarez and TJ Friedel to waivers Wednesday night. This update is sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co., locally inspired dishes and award-winning cocktails. Visit highbankco.com today to make your reservation. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Fascinating, informative, covered in dog slobber. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in hour number 2. Justin Zwick, former Buckeye quarterback, in the building today. During the break, our guy Rhyme Time came in.
No Rhymer.
Letting us know about, how he and Adam King.
They didn't get it done. Yeah, they're going against Austin and Beam in a golf match. Didn't get it done.
Now he's banned. No North Carolina anything.
No talk, no wearing, no nothing. If he does, he's got to say something good about Duke.
Do you guys playing golf soon? Is that what
now they're trying to put Beam and Austin are trying to put him on my team, and I'm like, I'm not making any kind of bets if this is what happened the first time he went out. So great. We'll see. I haven't seen old Rhymer play yet. But
oh man, that's hilarious. We love Rhyme Time around here. He's awesome. Bottom of the hour, we're gonna preview Notre Dame. A lot of people, Jay-Z, this week in on Notre Dame. We had Herbie, Joey Galloway. Our guy Joshua Perry made his picks official yesterday. He picked Notre Dame to win it all. So we're going
to win it all.
To win it all. We're going to peek under the hood and talk to Ryan Roberts, who knows everything about Marcus Freeman and that roster at the bottom of this hour. Real quick, before you lay out some things on offense you're intrigued by going into the new year for Ohio State. Did you see the news about the old Pro Bowl?
I did.
We got to pour one out, folks, for the Pro Bowl.
Good riddance.
At least the game itself.
Yes.
Like the honor is remaining. But if you missed this last night, Shefty reported that the NFL is eliminating the Pro Bowl games. Instead, it's going to shift to just focusing on celebrating the honor of a Pro Bowl selection. And so at the beginning of the 2026 season, 88 players will be named to the Pro Bowl class in late December with no replacement selections. And so, Jay-Z, they've been doing this since 1938, and this thing's turned into dodgeball and skills competitions and flag competitions and hot dog eating contests and just.
And Shedeur Sanders was there last year.
Exactly. It's so just a
jump the shark.
Such a nonsense. So when I saw this, I said, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been time to bury this thing. It is what it is. I don't think we're going to miss it. I don't even know if this is a hot take. I'm in my headspace of you get rid of all the All-Star games. I'm good there as well. Like maybe Major League Baseball because that's kind of competitive and kind of mirrors a real game. So I'd be on board with that. But everything else, Jay-Z, the NBA All-Star Game, Pro, like, I'm good on it.
It's just a joke nowadays. I mean, you watch basketball, nobody's playing defense. They're just, jogging up and down the court. Like, it used to be like a game. Right. You would have, like, 2 or 3 Lakers and 2 or 3 Boston Celtics, and they would want to go out and beat each other. Yeah. I mean, I don't think the NFL Pro Bowl has been good since Sean Taylor killed that punter or whatever it was.
Rest his soul,
that
right?
might have been the last big hit that happened in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And, it's just like, and then, with the replacements and everything else, good riddance. That's fine. We don't need that one. It wasn't worth sitting down to watch anyway.
No, and I understand from the player's perspective, right? You go through a whole season, busting your tail.
Oh, no doubt about it. I get that.
Already beat the hell up.
And it's like you're going to Tampa. You're not going to Hawaii.
Exactly. And so, for sure. All good on my end. I'd be surprised if the NFL or ESPN, feels a whole bunch of blowback from fans since they're getting rid of the Pro Bowl. So you've been tasked with an assignment, my friend. Buckeyes right around the corner. Ball State coming into town next Saturday, that ramp-up game, as I like to call it. We'll see whatever type of resistance they're going to bring to the table. Probably none at all. But let's focus on the offense, man. Former quarterback yourself, you know what it takes to get this thing rocking and rolling. Lay out some things for you that you're intrigued by when you think about this offense going into week 1.
Well, I think, as an old quarterback, I always love my big uglies up front. I always know how important they are to an offense, how important they are to a team. So I think this offensive line continuity, or whatever you want to call it, of having 4 guys coming back who were starters last year. Throwing, seemingly, it seems like Ian Moore is going to be your left tackle. Austin Saravel's going to move into right guard. They're going to have a week and a half, 2 weeks to really rep that and get comfortable with each other. I think that is a huge thing to have guys back who have played together. Talking to Jim Lachey last night, and he's like, when you're by the same guy, like, you can give dummy calls, you can mess around a little bit, or where they're going to be, and like, it takes time to get to that point. Same thing we were talking about earlier with the quarterbacks and receivers, signals. At the line of scrimmage, those guys have to talk a little bit about, all right, well, this guy's a little shaded over here. We need to, they need to mix it up a little bit. Yeah. So I think that is going to be a big thing. So the offensive line to me is just a huge part. I think they could be a top 5 offensive line in the country. Okay. I do believe in them. I think Ian Moore is going, you've heard the guys talking about he's a dude. Mm-hmm. That's probably one of the best compliments you can give an offensive lineman. He's a dude. We trust him when he's out on that left side. Yeah. So I think Austin's going to just shore that thing up in the middle there, and they're going to be a strong unit for us.
Real quick, Jay-Z, because I love that you start there, because TLC and I always talk about, it matters. The offensive line stuff, right?
It matters much more than people realize.
It's not sexy. We get it. I understand. But if you don't have it, then you're going to be bitching and complaining as a football
We can't get Jeremiah the ball. Exactly. Well, we need an offensive line, so we get some time. Exactly.
And that's the one unit, because we talked about how, Julian out there's maybe some doubters about what he could be as far as, hey, is he going to be ready for the league, yada, 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 all of that. This specific unit, for months now, has had to hear everybody talk about 2 games, Indiana and Miami. And the amount of sacks that they gave up, right around 10 or whatever it was. In those 2 games, you look at their body of work all season.
6 sacks all year.
Straight, right? And then you get to that. And so they are probably ready to just be released off the chain and just quiet all this noise. Now, probably won't get a ton of credit for week 1. However, that first measuring stick game in just a couple weeks here at Austin, that is where my eyeballs are going to go right away.
Yep.
Down to the trenches, Colin Simmons, that crew. We know they're very, very talented. I think they're ready for the moment, but that will quiet the noise of the offseason about the offensive line if they can take on that task.
It will, and it's just going to shoot the confidence of everybody in Ohio or in Columbus if they go down there and, hey, they're twisting, they're blitzing, our guys are picking it like, whoa, this is different than what we saw at the end of last year. Yeah. Then people are going to be like, oh, this team might be really good if that does happen. And I think that they have a really good opportunity to do so. But, yeah, that's going to be the first big test on the road. We heard Ryan talk the other day about there's too many penalties during the scrimmage. That's going to be huge going down on the road in Austin. You've heard Arthur Smith kind of talk about cadence and how important that can be for an offense and just how you can use that. So this is a week and a half where better getting that buttoned up. You got 2.5 until you go down to Austin, but you better button that up and get everybody on the same page, because it's going to be loud down there. You're going to need to be on your P's and Q's. So that's going to be a big opportunity for them. And then you have opportunities for all kinds of, who's going to be wide receiver number 2? Yep. We imagine the block O, Brandon Ennis is going to be a guy who's going to be in the slot area like he did last year, picking up some big third downs for us, that kind of thing. Does that evolve into more for him, or do we feel good about McEwen or Henry or Brock Boyd on the outside, like, who is going to be that guy that helps take a little bit of pressure off of Jeremiah Smith?
It won't surprise me, specifically when it comes to Chris Henry Jr., if we're talking about a decent amount of touchdowns this year, because I think there's going to be a trust that's going to be built. Like, hey, in the red zone, like, obviously you're going to go 4 more times than not. I get that. But because of the frame and just the skill set that he's already got.
Well, and then think about, you have a guy who's just a little bit smaller than him on the other side named Jeremiah Smith.
Right.
So,
Yeah, like two big body targets, right?
Exactly.
And so for Chris Henry, like, I think he's always going to have a role in this offense, but specifically, Jay-Z, down in the red zone, I won't be surprised if he pops off this year. And so, I love that you mentioned those names, that specific wide receiver position there, that wide receiver, too, who's going to be the guy. Maybe it has a little bit of a feel, too, kind of where, like, the Green Bay Packers have been the last few years, right? Where it's Watson and Dobbs and Wicks, and there's...
Well, and they've talked very highly about, I mean, Ryan says six guys are going to play, you know, so that they feel good about it. It's just how does it work out during games, and, you know, what are they trying to do, like, in the red zone? Is Chris Henry going to be a guy that we want to throw a couple of jump balls to down there, you know, that sort of thing. But you know, so that's going to be fun. That's not even big. It's just going to be fun to see who. Because we've heard so much about them, you know, these young guys all camp, and it's like, all right, I want to see them out on the field and see what they can do. So that'll be fun to watch. And then just everybody's talked about Arthur Smith and just what he's going to be able to bring to this. You know, you heard Yogi talking about, I forget the quarterback, but he's like, you know, he turns his back to the defense. I think we're going to see some of that stuff this year. That's a little bit more NFL type. All right, we're turning our back to the defense. I'm faking. I've got play action going on. They trust the quarterback to get his head back around and have a really good sense of what's going on. And, you know, so that changes things. I think just the Arthur Smith and how that, you know, just changes the flavor of the offense in different spots and what he brings to the table.
Man, that run game, if it comes along and is something you absolutely have to respect, and I think it will this year, connecting to the pass game that you just talked about as well, then I think as an offensive coordinator, that's when you're cooking.
Oh, good.
That's when you're cooking,
when you're running the ball, you know, first down, you're getting 5 yards a pop. Like, that just opens everything up. And with the weapons on the outside, if run game's going, which the offensive line should be good in that, you just have, I mean, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and we've heard the coaches talk about Julian, Arthur Smith, and Ryan Day. Like, you get him on the board, you get him in the film room. This dude is as sharp as anybody right now at the collegiate
level. Like, they have
to
almost slow him down a little bit for the guys in the room, you know, catch up to him.
Right.
You know?
So to your point about, hey, all those little details, right, of turning your back to the defense, selling that fake well, and all of that, like, I'm excited to see the play action and what that can do this year, because teams are always going to be so worried about Jeremiah every single snap. You spread around that wealth, as you know, man.
You
like
spread that around, you get a tight end or two that maybe can be a threat in the pass game. I mean, that just puts a ton of pressure on these defenses. What do you do? And, we're going to double Jeremiah. Oh, that's great. We got a 6'5" alien over here, too.
Right. Right.
Go ahead and have fun with that. What are you going to do there? You know, like,
and don't let a tight end emerge at some point in time.
Exactly. Like, if that happens, I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, it's just going to be whatever these guys want out there. So, just, you know, a lot of excitement, of course. That side of the ball has more guys coming back and more, you know, expectations, I guess, because we lost so many on the defense. We don't know what that's really going to look like. We expect it to be really good. But, you know, you got 4 starters on the offensive line, your running back, your quarterback, receiver. Like, I expect them to maybe carry the load a little bit more than they did last year.
Can't wait to see what it looks like. Only a week away. Coming up next, we got an NFL draft analyst who's looked into the crystal ball and found a way to maybe land one of the top quarterbacks in college football up in Cleveland. We'll tell you how next with Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Football season is here. Make sure your internet is ready. Kinetic's 100% fiber gives you the fast, reliable connection to enjoy live football on YouTube TV and watch up to 4 live games at once with Multiview. Check real-time stats and catch more big plays without missing a snap. Take your game watching to a whole new level. Switch to Kinetic. Save up to $120 on your first year of YouTube TV. Visit GoKinetic.com for details. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. Cancel anytime. Kinetic. Internet better.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
If you're being honest, you can feel it in the air, can't you? We're getting so close to that first fall Saturday where all the talking stops and you finally find out what you're about. It's Jeremy Birmingham here, Berm from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. And being around training camp lately has actually reminded me of something about myself. I spent a long time knowing what I needed to do, and somehow I confused that with actually doing it. I knew I was carrying too much weight. I knew it because my knees told me that, my ankles told me that. That's just the price you pay, especially when you have arthritis. I knew I didn't feel the way that I wanted to feel, but none of that information was new. What was new was that I had an opportunity to change it. And what changed was finally having somebody help me do something about it. I started Awaken 180. I followed the plan. I worked with my coach, and 7 weeks later, I was down 40 pounds without weight loss medication. The inflammation was gone. The grogginess is gone, and my happiness is way up. If you've spent the summer thinking about doing something, maybe it's time to stop thinking and start doing. Make today your starting point. That's coming from somebody who knows what comes next. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
AR, you know what I tell everybody who asks me about buying a car?
What's that?
Go to McDaniel GM Superstore. I did, and it was smooth. No hidden fees. Everything laid out up front from the jump.
That's the way it should be. And right now, they've got a deal on the 26 Traverse that's hard to pass up.
Lease one for as low as $435 a month.
Plenty of room, the Chevy reliability, and a payment that actually makes sense.
Terms and conditions apply for qualified buyers. McDaniel GM Superstore, just north on 23 off Route 95 in Marion, or McDanielGMSuperstore.com.
Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America. 200 food banks strong.
During COVID, Amy Acton shut down Ohio and banned people from visiting their loved ones in nursing homes. As a result, more seniors died in Ohio than any other state in the Midwest, and they passed away all alone, leaving Ohio families devastated, including Linda Caudill's family.
I had to put my mother in a nursing home because she had fallen. A few weeks after that is when Amy Acton shut down the state. My mother didn't understand it. It traumatized her. She didn't know why her family couldn't come visit her. 2 months later, she died. Amy Acton is to blame for this. What happened to my mother happened to a lot of seniors. It happened to a lot of families. Many people died as a result of this, and it shouldn't have happened. I will never forgive Amy Acton for what she did to my family. Ohio can't afford liberal Amy Acton.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Pretty quiet as we go throughout the rest of your Wednesday. Mid to high level clouds pass on by. We'll say partly sunny overall with highs in the lower 80s. Tonight, there's a slight chance of a passing shower or storm, otherwise partly cloudy, mid 60s. For your Thursday, similar story, slight chance of a shower or storm, mainly in the afternoon. Most of us are dry, though, with a partly sunny sky and highs in the lower 80s. For the Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. Like Yoda, Rothman will limp onto the golf course, talk about how stiff his back is, wonder how he can even make it through a hole, and then proceed to kick your ass. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Justin Zwick in the house today. You know, Jay-Z, during the break, I was looking at the week 1 college football schedule. Like, outside of the LSU-Clemson game?
Yeah, there's not much there, is there?
No.
Not a lot of meat to that schedule there.
Are we not getting a single top 25 matchup? I don't believe we... Oh, wait a minute. Sunday night. So it'll be Sunday night on ABC. It looks like we're getting Louisville against Ole Miss. And so that day, you're getting Washington State at Washington. You're getting Wisconsin versus Notre Dame at Lambeau, and then you'll get Louisville and Ole Miss out at Nissan Stadium down there in Nashville. Monday night, it will be SMU and Florida State. And so, yeah, we have to wait until Sunday night, Jay-Z.
Yeah, for a couple good games. And we get to see the old QB here in town, Lincoln Kleinholtz, go.
That's right, man. See what he's got going on there. And, Jeff Brom's still over there, I believe. He's still over there.
He's got some good coaching down there, I imagine.
Yeah, Jeff Brom, always a good offensive coach, right? Seems like he can always kind of get things in order. Tyler Shuck was his guy before he got drafted up there to New Orleans. So we'll see what that looks like. But Saturday's going to be, won't be surprised to see a nice amount of blowouts in game one. I know a lot of eyeballs will be on that 7:30 kick down there in Baton Rouge with Lane Kiffin and Dabo. But other than that, brother, it's not a great slate, but it's week one.
It's one of those put it on in the background after the Buckeyes are done. And, as you walk by, you're kind of checking it out. Right. All right, what's the score? Okay, it's a blowout. And then you're going to definitely have some pizza and wings and probably sit down and watch the night game just because it's the first night game.
Right.
You got to be in on that.
Absolutely. Feel the vibes. Everybody's going to be in on that. I'm glad you brought up food because I wanted to hit this with you. One got to go, Justin Zwick. One got to go here, okay? Pie, cookies, or brownies? One got to go.
Cookies are gone. Yeah,
cookies are out. Okay.
Yes.
Your favorite type of pie then?
Peanut butter pie.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. Oh, Linda Zwick used to whip that up for me back in the day. It's good, nice and light. Oh, it's so good.
Peanut butter pie. I don't think everybody met anybody that says that's their favorite pie.
That's my favorite.
Peanut butter. Okay.
That's my birthday. If my wife's making something, she brings out the old recipe and whips it up for me.
Okay.
What was the ice cream that you were eating every night?
Oh, that was just vanilla ice cream with, let's get into that. I'll do Reese Cup in my ice cream. I'll do vanilla Oreos in my ice cream. We used to buy some cookie dough you kept in the fridge. I would dump some of that in there sometimes. And then I'm going with some chocolate sauce and some caramel sauce on top, mixing it all. I'm a Blizzard guy. I grew up on Dairy Queen in Orville, Ohio. That was our big,
always a win.
That was our big stuff. So that's kind of what I try and make my own.
Little concoction art, TLC. One got to go. Cookies, brownies, or pie? Who are you getting out of the paint?
Well, the tough thing about this is like there are many varieties of cookies and pie, and brownies are just brownies.
Yeah, but brownies are so good.
It kind of like it's a little bit dependent on what I'm.
Unless you're hanging out.
And you can throw a brownie in with the ice cream too.
Yeah,
You heat the brownie up.
I'm keeping brownies for sure.
Now, look, unless
out of discipline's sake, I may get rid of cookies just because they're so hard to put down.
Okay.
Because like stopping at one.
Yeah, you never stop. I mean, Christmas time, I'm having at least 3 or 4 every night.
Unless you're doing just one of those massive like crumble cookies or something like that, then you're probably one and done.
Yeah, no, you might be done, like heart attack done.
I could convince myself into a second, but again, I'm not getting. We talked about this. I'm not getting crumble cookies unless I have teammates. I'm not just going and showing up and getting it for myself because I know what would happen. And so I need some teammates to clear out some space for me so we can play man-to-man defense.
You can get one. Go in there and get you one. And I found a loophole for you, remember?
One is fine.
Get you the cutter in there.
Yeah, the cutter.
Get you the cutter.
Yeah, and then we're passing along. Good. We all get like a quarter of a different flavor and stuff like that.
I got a food question for you. Do you eat Chick-fil-A every day? Because yesterday I was listening to you guys, and you were going on. He's like, well, I was in Chick-fil-A line this morning like every day.
So what I do is I like to go over there and get like a little protein bowl.
Okay.
So it's just kind of like scrambled eggs and kind of sausage is what I eat. Okay. So just kind of protein to get me through the day. So I usually grab 3 to 4 of those, and then I usually eat like 2. So I'm there probably 3 times a week or something like that. It was popping over there yesterday, Jay-Z.
There's always popping.
The chicken and waffle sandwich that they released. The drive-thru was crazy. No, I have not tried that.
Guess who hit up that drive-thru yesterday?
You did.
I got the chicken and waffles.
Okay.
Immaculate.
Really?
I bet it is.
I loved it.
Let me ask you this.
My friend said it was just okay. I ate it and was great. And then I had the s'mores milkshake with it. That was great too.
Okay.
I was seriously eating it thinking
Oreo
like
shake from Chick-fil-A.
I was seriously thinking, when can I have this again? Now, I'll give you a second fast food thing.
Yeah.
It is apparently it's the final week at Chipotle of the honey chicken or whatever.
Yes.
And so they're doing a special free double protein promo.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking this up because I saw this on the internet, and this is one of the few things on the internet I will verify. Is this promo today actually real? So I type it into GPT, and then I type it into Google. So I double verified it. It is real. If you do an internet order or an website or app order on Chipotle, so you can't do it in line, but if you do it website or app order today, you can get free double protein with promo code protein.
Okay.
It's still $18 for a burrito.
I guess, so I guess I'm doing fast food back-to-back days.
Yeah,
I've already downloaded the Chipotle app, so I got
get after it, man. Get after it.
I know at dinner.
Gone are the days, Jay-Z, of us getting burritos for $6 or $7.
Oh,
Remember that, man?
1,000%.
It was
the best.
$7.40 when I first started going to Chipotle.
Goodness, incredible.
And I was late to the game, so I can't even imagine the people who were getting there before me. Like,
back in like 04, 05. I mean, that was like a treat for us.
Like, live like a
we're going
king.
to Chipotle. Tonight we're getting double meat. Let's
going
go.
crazy. All you need is $10. Going back to the chicken and waffle sandwich from Chick-fil-A, does it come with like a side of syrup or anything? How is that? Okay, so you get to dip that in there.
So good.
Okay, and a s'more shake. You were living like a king. Good for you, man. Good for
it was,
you.
I don't hit up drive-thrus often, but the seasonal items. That can get me. If I see limited time
You're
only.
You're a pumpkin spice guy, aren't you?
I could be.
I could be.
For the right price.
Yeah, for the right price.
Yeah, and
if they're running the right deal on the app.
If the commercial looks appetizing enough, but once I see limited time only, I'll be honest, I am that customer that does create some emergency. Because I talk myself out of going to the drive-thru a lot. I'm like, I got food at home. Like if I'm driving home and I'm thinking about the drive-thru, I'm like, I can drive my car home and there will be food at home and I can eat healthier. However, if I see limited time only and I feel like, well, if I don't have,
it's now or never.
I don't have till next week to get free double protein at Chipotle. So I'm going to do that today.
And look, when you go to Chick-fil-A, you know they never miss.
Never miss.
The service is incredible.
Best place.
My pleasure, all the time. Like, I wonder if they don't say it. Is there something like
they might get in trouble
fired.
Big brother cameras everywhere.
They're all wearing buzzers. They get like stung or something. Like, you didn't say
sirens and alarms are
coming around, refilling your drinks for you. Like, what are we doing? This is great.
Let us know in the chat. One got to go. Cookies, brownies, or pie? We want to know.
How about this?
Yeah.
So I went to Chick-fil-A last week as well. However, that's because a friend asked me if we wanted to do that before we were going out to the function. So he's like, hey, you want to get Chick-fil-A or whatever. So we go inside. I'm asking them, I want to order something. They recommend something else. And I'm kind of like, whatever. And then the person, like, this is like probably a high schooler behind the register. She says, if you don't like this, I will personally pay for your order. And I'm like,
okay,
I'm not going to make you do that. But if you're talking about talking about Chick-fil-A service, we're talking about like either a high school girl or like young or like a freshman or sophomore in college.
Yeah,
is like, hey, how about I recommend this? And I'm just like, I kind of had my mind made up. She's like, I will pay for it for you if you don't like it.
She put up a triple-double performance right there. That's good stuff.
And I have a hefty car payment right now, so please don't make me pay for it. I'm not making you pay for it.
What does she recommend?
I don't even
remember.
No,
okay. Because I was going to say, the last time I was there, I downed a 30 count of the grilled.
I've done that a couple.
It was a sandwich. I know that. It was something like jalapeno something or other.
Shout out to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
they never miss. Jay-Z, I'm a sucker. I am a sucker for a mock draft. I'm the guy. Like TLC said, when he sees those deals, he can't not go. When I see a mock draft, I can't not look at it. And I saw this one from ESPN, and it's kind of interesting because obviously the Browns are going to be in such the focus of, can they find the quarterback? Is it Arch? Is it CJ Carr? Is it Dante Moore? We shall see. However, Jordan Reed over there, he cooked up an interesting trade scenario for the Brownies. We know they've got those 2 first-round picks. They've got some strong draft capital going into next year, but he had them flipping with the Miami Dolphins. So the Miami Dolphins go from 1 to 4 in this. I'm sorry, from 4 to 1. That's the Browns. So the Browns are going from 4 to 1.
Yeah, they're getting 4 and 32
scenario.
up to get 1.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
And he's got them taking Dante Moore. That could be anybody. I don't want to get too caught up in the whole Dante Moore aspect of it. We are going to talk to Max Torres, who covers the Oregon Ducks at 2:30 for On 3. We'll really dive in into what's been happening with their camp. But I think the movement at the top of next year's draft is going to be interesting if these quarterbacks are what some people are telling us they're going to be. But that's probably the ballpark you need to be in if you're the Brownies to grab a hold of one of these guys.
Yeah, if you are 4 going into that draft with Jeremiah Smith coming out, like you might feel good about one of those 3 guys slipping down to 4. And then maybe you just have to be okay with, hey, we're going to take Jeremiah if we don't. Now, granted, with that being said, I'm all in for them trying to, if they don't figure that out this year, which it's not looking good. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
I'm all ready. I'm good to go with them giving up those couple picks and a couple other ones to go up and just who knows which one it's going to be. I think if Dante Moore came out last year, he'd probably been a top 5 pick. I mean, I think they like him a lot. The NFL does. So if it's him, if it's CJ Carr, he has a big year. He comes out. He's that guy. Like whatever they feel best. I know they haven't hit on a quarterback since, 99 when they came back.
Yeah.
But, Andrew's done well last couple. I think I'd be happy with them at least trying to go and fix that with a first-round pick.
You mentioned C.J. Carr. We're going to talk about Notre Dame next with Ryan Roberts, who covers the Golden Dovers over at A to Z in 2 minutes. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 on 1460 AM, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday morning at 9 on 1460 AM.
Every year, summer ends and the kids go back to school. This year, I'm going back too at My Computer Career. They helped me get financial aid, and I got to choose online or on-campus classes to fit my needs. Now I'm on a fast track to a high-demand IT career where the rewards can finally match my value. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. It's never too late to go back to school.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Save big on everything for your landscaping project when you shop at Menards. Make it easy for you to enhance your outdoor living space with the largest in-stock selection of concrete landscape block. Ready to take home today. Create a fire pit or retaining wall with our tumbled Belgian wall blocks. On sale now. Save big on your landscape project at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, it's Common Man. Everybody's talking about affordability these days, but the good news is you'll find hundreds of vehicles that fit your budget at GoGermain.com. Drive home in a new sedan starting at just $139 a month. New SUVs from only $189 a month, or a truck for as low as $329. Plus, choose from over 1,700 new and pre-owned vehicles, all priced under $30K, and it's only at GoGermain.com. And with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Go see my friends today. GoGermain.com.
Inside or out, Billiards Plus has what you need for tailgating season. Fire up your new top-of-the-line grill for a perfect game day feast. Then keep the fun going inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Billiards Plus, the store you won't want to leave. Shop online or visit them on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A perfect afternoon parlay. This is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Justin Zwick, former Buckeye quarterback, in the building today. Going to add one of our favorites to the show right now, Ryan Roberts. Does an awesome job covering college football, the NFL, locks in on Notre Dame as well. Over at A to Z Sports. Check him out. Twitter handle at Rise and Draft. Ryan, happy football season, brother. We're back. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Like you said, I'm excited to have some football here tonight, actually, some FCS action. So excited for football to finally be back. Felt like a long off season, but we're finally here, as you said. So
let's lock in on Notre Dame, Ryan, because we had Joey Galloway this week, Kirk Herbstreit this week, our guy Joshua Perry on our show yesterday, all picking Notre Dame to win the national championships this season. Let's start with C.J. Carr. Here's a guy we're being told is the next big-time guy to join the likes of Arch and join the likes of Dante Moore, and guys that could be the number one pick in next year's draft. So for the folks that maybe caught a game or two from C.J. Carr but really didn't lock into everything that he is, tell us why he is being talked about that way.
Well, I mean, obviously he has the recruiting pedigree, which I think kind of carries a lot of weight for just like the casual fans. But I think it was the improvements you saw him last year in terms of ownership throughout the season, because beginning of the year especially, you knew that it was the Jeremiah Love show. You knew that Jadarian Price was obviously a really talented running back, and you knew that this team was going to run the football at a high volume, especially with a redshirt freshman and first-year starting quarterback. But I think as you saw throughout the season, and offensive coordinator Mike Denbrock has talked about this a lot this offseason, was that he really did get a lot more thrown on his plate throughout the season in terms of setting protections, changing plays, having a little bit more command of game planning. Like the whole ship was kind of steered more by CJ throughout the season. And now that you're going into a year where you don't have Jeremiah, you don't have Jadarian, you still have a really good offensive line coming back. You have a lot deeper wide receiver core than you probably have had in quite a long time now in South Bend. So there's going to be a lot on his plate. He's an accurate quarterback. He's incredibly smart. He's competitive. So I think Notre Dame fans are really excited because they saw the maturation just during his first year. And now he has a full offseason where he is the starter, there's no quarterback battle. There's nothing in the way. It's just been clear eyes all offseason. It's him and the starting quarterback, but I think people expect a pretty substantial, jump, obviously, now in year 2.
Yeah, you talked about some of the guys they lost, really kind of, I don't want to say run heavy, but they relied on them big time last year. How do you see that going this year offensively? They came in to Columbus and took a couple of our 5-star receivers. How's that been working out for them? I mean, is this going to be more of a put it on CJ's shoulders to open up the run, or, they have some backs coming in that they feel pretty good about?
I think they have backs that they like Aeneas Williams is a kid that's kind of waited his turn a little bit, but he had some explosive runs and limited opportunities last year. They have guys like Nolan James Jr., Keedron Young. So I think they're excited about their running backs. But I think it's funny enough, if you turn on the Miami game from last year, I think what they were trying to do in the first game last year is kind of what you'll see a lot more at the beginning this year that they kind of steered away. And that was a lot more ability to work the pass off of the run in terms of letting CJ be a little bit more massive at the line of scrimmage. And that comes with changing plays. But I also think we saw RPO game, a big part of their offense early in the season. They kind of went away from it when it just kind of became hey, let's keep things simple for CJ and let's lean into Jeremiah. So I think that you're going to see a lot more just on CJ's in terms of you make the decisions now at the line of scrimmage. If you think it's a good run play, you think that we have numbers advantage, let's do it. If you think you have numbers advantage somewhere else that we can get the ball in the air and be a little bit more aggressive on early downs, I think they'll do that as well. So it's going to be a different type of running game this year. Last year, I kind of said they had a little bit of a get out of jail free card. If they were not having an efficient day running the football, well, Jeremiah Love can bust a 70-yarder any time, and then it's okay, it looks better even if you actually haven't been running the ball that well consistently all day. This year, it's going to be about being much more efficient on the ground, which I think it will be. I think that when they have 2, they'll get 3. I think when they need 4, they'll give 5. I think there'll be a little bit more singles and doubles this year than true home runs. But that is now going to go on to CJ's shoulders in terms of where those explosives that you lost in the running game this past year, it has to become now more accentuating in the passing game to create those explosives. And he created some explosives in the passing game last year off of play action and just some opportunities to push the ball vertically. But I think that's going to be even more on his plate, is that the passing game is going to have to create more explosives than it did last year when you kind of balance it out between the run and the pass.
Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports joining us here on Rothman and Ice to talk all things Notre Dame and NFL draft prospects. Let's talk about the schedule, because they're going to be getting a little bit of but you haven't really played anybody for a while. Is there a game, Ryan, that we may be sleeping on prior to, let's call it, that trip to BYU? Is there anybody that can throw some speed bumps at them before they have to go out there on October 17th?
Yeah, I mean, I think that people ought to have they have that game circled for obvious reasons, because that's your first true test, I think, quote unquote, because you look at the schedule and you say you have Wisconsin to open the game at Lambeau Field, which Wisconsin's not a great football team, but that can always be a little bit of a tricky game when you're kind of talking about the Shamrock Series and the kind of neutral site and all that type of stuff. So I think that game can be tricky, but I mean, I'd be lying if I said there was a game that I was really that worried about. I am kind of intrigued to see what type of hold Pat Fitzgerald has on this Michigan State team, because on paper, they're not nearly as talented as obviously a team like Notre Dame. But Pat Fitzgerald is a coach that has experience, and he brings kind of that tough former linebacker mindset to the table. So Michigan State is, even if it's not one of Notre Dame's biggest rivalry games, Michigan State is still a bit of a rivalry between Notre Dame. They have some rich tradition against each other. So Michigan State's coming in, I believe it's on September 19th, if I remember correctly. That game, I guess, kind of has my antennas up, but there's not really a game to begin that kind of super worries me. I think they'll take it one game at a time, and they'll just keep hyper-focusing on September 6th against Wisconsin. But I think Michigan State might be the one that maybe fits that criteria, but I'm not super worried about them as of today.
Yeah, a lot of talk about CJ Carr and the weapons he has going into this season. Here in Columbus, we lost 8 dudes on our defensive side of the ball. We're not really sure how that's going to look. Out in South Bend, do they have a defense that can carry them deep into a playoff run?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why people are feel so good about it, because anytime you have, obviously, all your coordinators, your head coach, your quarterback coming back, you feel good. But I really do think it's the defense that's kind of driving a lot of the preseason confidence, both in the program and outside of the program, because when you talk about having difference makers on each level, I think Notre Dame does right now, and it's the best I felt about defensive tackle depth in South Bend in a very, very long time. So you have Boubacar Traore on the first level as a dynamite pass rusher. You obviously have Drake Bowen and Kingston Viliamu-Asa at linebacker. Then you have Leonard Moore, obviously, as your All-American on the back end, and maybe the best safety duo in the country as well. So Notre Dame should be very good on that side of the football, which is also, if there is a identity shift offensively that might happen the first couple games of the year, I do think that defense obviously is more than good enough to carry you against the teams you're playing against. And I think that they're obviously a team that you can definitely, side of the football, you could definitely lean on for sure.
Ryan, let's zoom out from Notre Dame in our last few minutes and talk about some draft prospects. I want to get your thoughts on Cam Coleman, because that's going to be a name we hear about a lot in the coming weeks for Ohio State fans as they make the trip down to Austin. So that now weapon added to the mix for the Longhorns. What do you think that's going to look like connecting with Arch Manning?
Well, I think he's the type of player they needed in that offense first and foremost. Like, they needed a guy that's more of a ball winner outside. Wingo is more of like an after-catch, explosive guy. Emmett Mosley's like kind of a really smooth, intermediate route runner, But they really just needed a guy that I think had some impact size on the outside. And Coleman brings that, obviously. Like, he's verified over 6'3". People around the program, scouts coming through, have kind of weighed him more in like the 210 to 215 range. So he's put a lot of good weight on this offseason, which I think is important. Rave reviews out of Austin for him, because he's a guy that has struggled a little bit with drops over his first 2 years, obviously with Auburn. But the spectacular catch ability, the frame that he brings to the table, the catch radius, it's all super impressive. So if he's becoming a more consistent version of himself, which it sounds like, he's a guy that any outside corner is going to have a tough time, especially in kind of those one-on-one situations.
And just staying down there in Austin, where are you at on Arch Manning? Do you think this is the year we finally see him do what everybody's been telling us he can do?
Man, I actually have kind of mixed opinions right now on Arch. I mean, he's my QB1 in the summer scouting portion of this evaluation process, but it is a little bit like there's a lot that still needs to kind of get figured out. I mean, obviously he's a very talented kid. He's 6'4", 230 pounds now is what he's up to now, but he's a really good athlete. I don't think he has elite arm strength, but I think he has really good arm talents overall, the ability to layer the football down the field. He throws a beautiful deep ball. And you saw the first-year jump that you wanted to see in terms of, like, the second half of the year was way better than the first half of the year. So I think that you saw that maturation happening. But this offseason, I've heard just some mixed reviews for scouts and a couple other people that have just kind of been through there, where it's kind of been like his preseason performance has just kind of been really up and down. I mean, sometimes that means things, sometimes it doesn't. So it's kind of hard to really tangibly understand exactly what a up and down preseason can mean for a player. But I mean, he has Cam Coleman, you have Ryan Wingo, you have Emmett Mosley, you have two very talented new running backs in the room on top of a true freshman that's really good, and you invested in the offensive line. So, gun to my head, I think that he's going to play a lot better this season. I think we're going to start to really kind of hit that hype a little bit more, but some of the stuff I've just been kind of hearing from people coming in and out has been a little bit mixed. So we'll see.
Hey, in our last minute, we'll get a look at USC this weekend. J.D. Mayava coming back with Lincoln Riley. Where's he stacking up amongst some of the quarterbacks for you at the moment?
Yeah, I think he's more in kind of the mid-round conversation right now, like fourth, fifth round, somewhere in that ballpark, because I really do like Jaden's commands, and I think that he is an accurate quarterback, and he's fearless. He has a lot of arm arrogance to him. I just don't necessarily think he's like this crazy talented dude. I think the arm's just pretty average, especially when you kind of push the ball outside the numbers, and I think he's a solid athlete, but nothing special. So I think he's probably more of a mid-round draft prospect. But that being said, I think in college football terms, I think he has a chance to put up some great numbers in Lincoln Riley's offense, especially now in the second year as the unquestioned starter there.
Make sure you go follow him on X at Rise and Draft. He's Ryan Roberts, covers the NFL, college football at A to Z Sports. We appreciate your time, my man. Thank you, and we'll chop it up with you soon.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you for your time as well.
Appreciate you. You joined us via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Coming up next, Vegas has laid out who they believe is going to lead the Big Ten in passing yards this season. Is it Julian Sand? You'll find out next with Rothman Ice right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
It's a great feeling doing business with
John Hinderer Honda.
Come to John Hinderer Honda in Heath and lease a new Honda HR-V LX all-wheel drive for just $289 a month for 36 months. Shop our inventory and drive away in an affordable, versatile Honda SUV. Get all the benefits with none of the stress. Just $289 a month now at John Hinderer Honda.
See dealer for details. It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
Hey, this is Tyvis Powell. College football is back and so are the prediction. Who makes the playoffs, who wins their conference, but the one that I want to focus on is who's going to take home that Heisman. Maybe you're an Arch Manning fan and you believe in Texas. Well, right now on Kalshi, he's trading at 8%, meaning that $100 will win you $943.46. Because on Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position, trade the draft, pick the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app and use code POWELL, that's POWELL, to get $20 when you trade $20. KALSHI, Kalshi, trade on anything. Must be 18 or older. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
How many of you have had your garage floor done? I'll wait for the answer. That's enough. How many of you think it looks like crap? That's because it is crap. One quick call to Comer & Cross Concrete Floor Coatings at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they can install a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor in one day. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. And here's the best part. It is guaranteed your garage floor will never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And listen, you lazy bum, they'll even take the stuff out of the garage for you. They're all certified uniform pros. No subcontractors at Comer & Cross. This is a premier product with premier results, and they hired a premier endorser to tell you about it. For your quick and easy Comer & Cross garage floor quote, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR now. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to comercross.com, COMER cross.com.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
I'm Ben. As a licensed Kroger pharmacist, I'm committed to helping you choose the right vaccines for you and your family. Whether you have questions about the flu, RSV, or COVID vaccines, our team is ready to go above and beyond for you when it comes to providing personalized care and seasonal vaccine education. No appointment needed. At Kroger, we're here to look out for you. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site or pharmacy for details.
Have you ever met a man who wins money betting on tennis? Enter Scotty Vegas. Join Scotty and Dave Biddle for On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Sunday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
Another good bet, folks. It's the McDaniel GM Superstore up in Marion. Myself, AR, we're on the team. Get on the roster as well. You'll be happy with what they have going on. Check out their website. Really cool website, easy to use. You'll see over 200 new vehicles right now. Not a far trip up to Marion. Get on up there and let the team take care of you. You're going to be happy. Right now, they've got a 2026 Silverado 1500. Save up to $13,000 off MSRP or 0% APR for 60 months, or you can lease it for as low as $339 a month. Terms and restrictions apply. Again, check out the website, give them a call. Better yet, make the trip up there and let the great team at the McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion take care of you. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. You know, Jay-Z, we saw this graphic prior to the show, NIL money around college football, specifically at the quarterback position. And so Pete Nakos over at On 3, he put out a graphic today about some of the big-time names at the most important position and the dollar figures that are attached to some of these. The leader in the clubhouse, I think, is going to surprise some people. It's Darian Mensah for Miami. And this is just reports, alleged, we don't know, but Pete Nakos, he put this out this morning. So he's got him listed at $6+ million. Right behind him, you've got two guys tied for second at $5 million apiece. That's going to be Dante Moore at Oregon and Trinidad Chambliss at Ole Miss. After that, new quarterback Sam Levitt for LSU, $4.5 million. Josh Hoover, $4.5 million. Damon Williams, $4 million for Washington. And then Drew Mestemaker, a name that people are kind of like, watch out for this guy, comes in from North Texas, now at Oklahoma State, $3.5 million. So I'm sure there's some of you saying, well, wait a minute, where's the Heisman finalist? Where's Arch Manning? He did throw out their numbers. Again, just reports that Arch and Julian apparently are making $2.5 million.
Nah, just $2.5.
Just $2.5 million. So it's just what does jump out to me though is when you look at some of the guys that are up towards the top, Justin. It's Mensah, new guy, new program. Levitt comes in, new program. Hoover, new program. Mestemaker, new program. So these guys come in, right? You get to essentially free agency in college football. You put in a decent amount of work, put some good things on film, and you're like, okay, I have leverage, and you can negotiate now in the offseason. And I think that's how some of these guys that we're going to look at or that we named, that we'd probably say, they're not better than Arch and Julian, but they had leverage on their side, and timing worked out well for them.
They had schools and programs that needed a quarterback.
Right.
So, you overpay for it because that just means their recruiting and their system, the cupboard is bare, right? So, you kind of haven't been over and like, all right, you're going to pay me to come down there and get after this. But, yeah, it's an interesting thing. To have Julian so far down on that list, it's kind of mind-blowing. But he's also somebody who's been here, as a freshman and just – he wasn't making, $3 million then. He was making whatever he made, and it just kind of went up. I'm sure they took care of him. I'm sure it increased after last year. But he's also probably a guy who's like, hey, spend money on these other guys that are helping me be really good. Yeah. And that's a smart quarterback in my opinion.
And it's obviously great to have this, but what comes with it are crazier expectations now. And for some of these guys, you're already at certain programs where, the standard for some is we better be, Final Four, playing in the Natty or whatever. And so when fans get a hold of some of these things, that can be the tough part of this thing, too, is having to deal with that type of noise.
They feel like they can lit off on anything
because you're getting this.
You're making money. I'm going to just rip you apart as an 18-year-old kid or whatever.
Right. And so how do you handle that as, to your point, a 19, 20-year-old where you've got, I don't know, Billy Bob Buckeye in your Twitter mention telling you how bad you are because of you better be doing this because you make this much money. And so that's the dangerous part of it, I guess.
You go home and wipe your tears with $100 bills.
There you go. That works too. Or you can just if I were one of these guys, I'm not on social media at all.
Forget about that. Cut that off. I'm going to have a flip phone that I can only text and call on. I am not anywhere near. I'm nowhere near these apps if I was in college football today.
So there you go, man. There is that. Vegas, they rolled out today. I love looking at some of these odds, Jay-Z. It's just kind of fun to get a feel of what Vegas thinks is going to happen.
They're usually right.
And where we're going. And so it popped up today for me. Big Ten season passing yards leader. And Julian isn't the leader in the clubhouse right now. He is tied for fourth on this list with Damon Williams from Washington. And so it's Dante Moore at 5-2 plus 250. Then you've got Jaden Mayava at 3-1. Malik Washington, who Yogi Roth was telling us about earlier from Maryland, he's at 9-2. And then you've got Damon and Julian tied at 7-1. Rounding out the top five, if you will, it's Josh Hoover at 10-1.
I figured Dante would be on top of that. They do like to throw the ball around. The guy could be starting in the NFL this year if he would have came out last year. No problems there. Maryland, they always start off strong, and he'll probably have a couple big games, but then by week 7, they just know how to fall off and lose the rest of their season.
Here's why I think maybe the Malik Washington and Mayava bets may be good. On Maryland side of things, I don't know how good they'll be, so maybe he's got an opportunity to chase.
He's throwing the ball. And I think he has, what was I reading? I don't remember the kid's name, but a receiver out there in Maryland I saw somebody's like, don't be surprised this guy's a first-round pick. I forget his name. I wish I had it on the top of my head, but don't. So he's going to – I think he has a couple of weapons out there, so maybe that is something.
So maybe it's real quick. Let's look at Maryland, because I wonder how much of – are they getting all of the Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State? How much of that do they have going on this year? So for Maryland, I'm seeing they'll come here on October 10th, and then they will host Penn State on November 28th. The week before that, they get USC. So they get 3.
It's only 3.
Yeah, but no Indiana,
no Oregon
on there. And so we'll see. They'll start it off with Hampton next week. But I kind of understand that one with him. But then Mayava, my mind went to, because he did lead the conference last year in passing yard. Jaden Mayava did. Julian was second.
I think it's one for sure is gone. One of his weapons. Right?
Yes, no doubt. Makai Lemon, Bolitnikoff winner last year, first-round pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Sorry, TLC. Are you still bitter about that, by the way, as a Steelers fan, or are you over that?
It's fine.
Okay. You remember the whole situation at the draft, right? The Steelers, we got him. Howie Roseman's like, not so fast, Not so fast.
We weren't going to get him anyway, although, a Trojan, for me, that
you would have been a little
getting deked out by a Trojan. Are you kidding me? So there's a little bit of spite there, but we weren't gonna get him. I don't know what they were thinking. So I'm not a big bad PR guy.
Okay.
So if we weren't gonna get him anyway, then so be it.
Here's what I'll say.
I just hope that this tackle out of Arizona State we got, if that guy works out, that's kind of all I'm concerned about.
I'm not mad at it. That's Browns guy, Ravens guy. When you see the certain franchises, identify guys at certain positions, I get a little worried. So when Makai Lemon that Steelers thing was starting to happen, I was like, oh, God. Because they have a great history of doing that, of identifying good guys there. I like the bet of Jaden Mayava here, just because I don't know what defense that we're going to see from USC.
Typically, they don't play defense.
A lot of shootouts with them.
With Kingsbury's defenses. So, a lot of shootouts. He's going to have a lot of opportunity to throw the ball around and score more points. And
former head coach Gary Patterson, now defensive coordinator out there, so I'm sure he'll tighten the screws a bit, but that may take maybe another year to get his guy. Exactly. Who knows what that looks like? And so there you go. Maybe another thing Julian saying can hang up in his locker that they don't think.
Well, he's not hanging up, but somebody in that place is hanging up all this stuff.
I like that, too.
Just so he sees it.
Yeah, the next day in the morning you see this. Yeah, that's good stuff. Coming up, top of the hour after an update, Ryan Fitzpatrick, former quarterback in the NFL, did a good breakdown on the Browns, specifically the quarterbacks and what he's been seeing from Deshaun and Shador. We'll get Jay-Z's take on it next. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
CEC Turf and Tractor is growing. We're proud to welcome Green & Sons Equipment's Mount Sterling and Marysville locations. Same hometown service you trust, now with the strength of one of Ohio's largest Kubota dealers. Visit CECTurfandTractor.com today.
Great cars, great deals, Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
The savings are so good at Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin. Right now, lease a new 26 Tucson SE for $149 per month for 36 months. Just $149 a month. Only at Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin. Plus, get 10 years or 100,000 miles of powertrain coverage with your new Hyundai. Just off 270 or at GLakesHyundaiofDublin.com.
There are lots of ways you could celebrate America's 250th year. Epic fireworks, adopting your own bald eagle, treating your coworkers to a very special rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Or you could just go to America250ohio.org, where you'll find tons of cool events in counties all over Ohio that celebrate America and the big role our state played in its history. Start your celebration at America250ohio.org. Sponsored by the Ohio History Connection, aired by the OAB and this station.
Football season is here. Make sure your internet is ready. Kinetic's 100% fiber gives you the fast, reliable connection to enjoy live football on YouTube TV and watch up to 4 live games at once with Multiview. Check real-time stats and catch more big plays without missing a snap. Take your game watching to a whole new level. Switch to Kinetic. Save up to $120 on your first year of YouTube TV. Visit GoKinetic.com for details. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. Cancel anytime. Kinetic. Internet better.
Are you a smoker of delicious chicken wings? Then fire up your team for the Sunbury Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest, sponsored by the Fraternal Order of Eagles, 3614 in Sunbury. Join us October 3rd for a full day of wings, beer, music, and competition. Spots are limited, so register now at SmokinHotEvents.com. Best of all, you'll help support 2 incredible causes: Big Walnut Friends Who Share and the Ohio Fallen Heroes Memorial. So bring the smoke and sign up now. SmokinHotEvents.com.
Leon was about to leave the military.
My biggest concern was, what am I going to do next?
He found out about My Computer Career and their military transition program.
The Cyber Warrior program takes you from not knowing anything about a computer at all to being a subject matter expert.
How long is that going to take?
In the span of 4 months, I was able to get 4 different certifications.
4 months? Leon's advice?
Highly recommended.
Become a certified cyber warrior in just months at mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary. VA education benefits available to those who qualify.
Our fantasy commish says for him it's all about the friendships. Cute, but I play to win. Like with Bet365. I get paid the second my team goes up big with early payout, and I get profit boost before the game starts with Early Bird Special. Enjoy the friends, Kevin. I'll take the wins on Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Claim an app. T&Cs apply.
When it's time to replace your roof, siding, or gutters, trust matters. That's why homeowners across Central Ohio have voted Newman Roofing City Scene Magazine's best roofing company 5 years in a row. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
Iconic summer moments deserve an iconic drink. Reach for Mountain Dew, an American original. From its beginnings in the foothills of Tennessee to your biggest summer yet. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since 48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. After 3 seasons, the Browns are releasing wideout Cedric Tillman, a third-rounder in 2023 out of Tennessee. Tonight, the Browns visit the Patriots in their last preseason game at 8, which can be heard on the Fan after the Buckeye Show. Dylan Gabriel to start at quarterback for Cleveland. 6th-rounder Taylor Green will back him up. Then on Friday, the Bengals had their first undefeated preseason since 2006 with a win at the Eagles on Friday at 8. Around the league, the Seahawks and defensive tackle Leonard Williams have agreed to a 3-year, $90 million extension. And in baseball, both the Guardians and Reds are off today. Meanwhile, the Columbus Clippers are on the road visiting the Indianapolis Indians at 7:05. This update is sponsored by Germain Toyota. For unbeatable service and sales, visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com.
Welcome back in hour number 3. Having a good time with the former Buckeye, Justin Zwick. Bottom of the hour, we're going out to Eugene. Max Torres covers the Oregon Ducks for Scoop Duck on 3. He'll join the party. We'll talk Dante Moore, Dan Lanning, a couple new coordinators out there, Jay-Z. So a lot to unpack with them as well. What's been up with Dylan Raiola out there? Remember that name?
Oh, yeah.
A guy in Nebraska.
Guy's been to like 10 different schools.
Yeah, exactly. And so during the break, Reimer was in here. And look, surprise, surprise, what we do around here at the Fan is everybody just talk about food. We talk about food all day. And so game day spread for Justin Zwick. A lot of people, tailgates coming up, watch parties coming up. Great stuff. I love that type of stuff in the next couple of months. The ideal game day spread. If I invited you over to the crib, you would want this on the menu to sit down and watch some ball.
Well, to sit down and watch, I would probably just go with some wings and pizza and wings.
Okay.
I'm a simple man when it comes to that.
Okay.
Pizza and wings, maybe some chips and a dip, maybe a cheesy bean dip or, a queso or, something like buffalo chicken dip.
Got a question for you. Does a veggie tray belong at a watch party?
If there's wives there. That's about it.
The veggie trays never moved me. Anytime I've gone to anything like that, I
might take the ranch out of the middle to dip my wings or pizza in, but other than that,
I'm good on the veggie trays, man.
I get enough of that during the week when my
Fair
wife's
enough.
making me eat vegetables all the time.
You're on that 80-20 rule, that 90-10 rule.
Exactly. But back in the day, when I played, I had the same meal in high school. I had the same meal before every game.
Okay.
It was barbecue beef sandwich and choo-choo wheels. You know choo-choo wheels?
No.
So it's a noodle. It's like a penne pasta or something, but it's in the circle. It looks like a choo-choo wheel, and we'd put butter and salt on them, and that would be every pregame meal. I had that. And so when I went to Massillon, my head coach over in Massillon, his wife would make it for me because I wasn't going back to Orville before the game, so she would make the food for me.
Protein, get your carbs in, get that energy ready to go before you go out there.
That was my meal before games, but during games, give me some pizza and wings, something to dip.
It's always a win.
Yeah,
it's always
a couple cold ones. The mountains are blue. I'm
Can't
good.
go wrong. Can't go wrong with that. With the wings, ranch, blue cheese, both.
I'm a ranch guy.
No blue cheese. You're out on that?
I've never been a blue cheese.
Okay.
I can do crumbles.
Yeah.
Rusty Bucket, buffalo chicken sandwich, the best buffalo chicken sandwich in the city. That has the blue cheese crumbles on it. I can deal with that.
Okay.
I'm not dipping into blue cheese.
Usually only use blue cheese with hot wings. So if I'm doing like barbecue sauce, teriyaki sauce, like anything like that, then I use ranch.
Oh, okay.
Hot sauce, mild, anything like that. Give me blue cheese.
We're a ranch family.
Okay, yeah, can't go wrong.
No.
Can never go wrong with ranch. TLC. Oh, he's got a whole project. He told me not even to bother him because he's trying to get Rhyme Time, our BBL conversation from yesterday.
I'm trying to promote our show
on the show.
and Drive Time.
So yesterday we were talking about, I don't know, how do we bring up BBLs? How do we get there?
In fact, you know what? Okay, that part I kind of forget because that was like a callback to a previous segment, but it started with Adam King's veneers or not veneers. So that was like the body enhancement topic.
And you went down the road of parents should never buy
because
BBLs. Parents shouldn't buy. Is that happening?
Because I said that
probably.
Yes. Adam King was offended that his parents spent good money on braces when he was a kid, and you thought that he just undid all of his parents' hard work with their money by just getting veneers anyway. And so that was the whole parents, would they or would they not fund their kids' body enhancements?
And then
and you said if there was light at the end of the tunnel, meaning financially.
I wouldn't put it past certain parents to look at some of the crazy money that's out there and be like, hey, you know what? I'll support you with this. Give us some kickback to the old family bank account. Sicko stuff, but it would surprise.
It would be some of the sports type of parents, too. Like the parents who, have, they wouldn't be, exact same, but they'd be, in the same category of those, football dads who, kind of think they're on the team. They view their kids as a lottery ticket.
8 kids from this 800 team are going to go D1. My brother-in-law told me that once. I laughed in his face.
Really?
He's all, oh, Justin, we got 7 or 8 guys that are going to go D1 off this.
How old were they?
8 years old.
That's crazy.
I just laughed at him. He's like, what? I mean, you're going to be lucky if.
He said about Pop Warner team?
Yes. Yes, thank you.
I thought you meant a high school varsity team.
No, an 8-year-old team. And he was like, oh, we got some players. And I was like, you're going to be lucky if all these kids even play football in high school. What are we talking about here? You are out of your mind.
You don't have a
But that's how these parents are, man.
spurts are going to be like or anything.
No.
Nothing.
No.
I mean, we've seen throughout the years, right? College programs and recruiting freshmen and all this stuff. It's getting out of hand.
And we all know somebody back in the day, 7th, 8th grade, that was just bigger than everybody. And they were really good at football. And then everybody caught back up to them.
100%.
I have a cousin who told me he graduated with a dude who could dunk in 8th grade and couldn't by his senior year.
Wow.
He made some bad decisions.
That he did.
Sounds
like maybe some bad diet decisions. That's what it sounds like along the way. Going to some Browns talk real quick. Tonight we talked earlier about the preseason game. It'll be Dylan Gabriel and then Taylor Green. You won't see the top dogs, but Ryan Fitzpatrick played for a long time in the league, arguably the best beard in the world.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the best backup quarterback to have on your team.
No doubt.
He always came in and won games for you.
TLC, you know what I'm going to ask. You know the game I like to play. Look it up for me. Ryan Fitzpatrick career earnings. Because when you brought that up, like you hang in the league that long. And look, he started.
Oh, no, yeah.
Plenty of time to start, too. But I just love to know the career earnings for Ryan Fitzpatrick. What do you got?
What do you think?
$80 million.
Okay. I was going to go 110.
If I had some Justin Zwick theme music, I'd play it.
Good call. Nailed
Let's
it.
go.
Approximately 80.5 to 82 million.
Good call, Jason.
I need to get some theme music on this.
There must be some roster bonuses that they can't keep track of.
You got in front of you, TLC, how many years in the league that he played?
Just X'd out of my tab.
How many years did he play in the league? No, he bounced around for a little minute. I want to say, did he get
17 to 20?
Okay,
is that too much?
No, I was going to go about 12. I don't know why. This is a random guess.
5 to 21. Oh. So that's 17 years.
Let's go.
Jay-Z
ding, ding, ding.
Jay-Z cooking right now. Let me get the man some ranch.
I thought he was 04. I was like, all right, well, it's got to be something close.
Oh, man. But he did a really good breakdown. I believe he's got a podcast with the former Bengal, Andrew Whitworth. And, we're all just trying to unpack this Browns situation. He's been grinding the tape throughout the preseason. Jay-Z, I wanted you to hear this. This is what he's seeing from both guys right now.
Deshaun is more ready. And the reason I always thought Deshaun was going to be the guy, even after his comments, was very easy to bench Deshaun after the first couple of games and go Shador. And then you have that natural pop. You have that natural enthusiasm. Or if it was the other way around, you almost can't do it. You can't go that way. I first went back and I watched Deshaun. And then I watched Shador. And I started to formulate my opinions a little bit. The hard part is you put on the film, and there's some things that Deshaun really regressed at and is not done well. One of them is the deep ball, non-existent. Every deep ball you see overthrown or out of bounds. Every single one of them. It was shocking to watch. It was painful to watch. But the thing that he does, he knows how to do an operation in the NFL. He knows getting the ball out. He knows throwing on time. He knows throwing with anticipation. Those are all things that he does and does well. Now, on the flip side of it, when you watch Shador, there are things certainly that pop. He makes more plays downfield with some of the throws and scrambling outside the pocket, but rarely is he playing on time. I think this is probably why he lost the job to Deshaun. Rarely is a play getting operated like it's supposed to be operated. Your read is 1, 2, 3. That ball's got to come out. You've got a bunch of young receivers and you've got a bunch of young skill position guys. Deshaun Watson's delivering it on time and he's putting it in the right spot more often than not. Shador, happy feet, antsy in the pocket a little bit, wandering eyes. Those are things he can improve at. I thought the Pittsburgh game for him, which was the second to last game of Shador's rookie year, you saw it a little bit in the first half. You've seen it in the preseason. He's seeing the field a little bit better. Outside the numbers, 10 to 20 yards, you just don't see Shador throw it out there much. Preseason, what do we see right away? He hits a little comeback to the left side in that range. He has the arm to do it. He has the talent to do it. We just got to see it a little bit more.
When I hear him talk about the happy feet for Shador, how frightening is that? When you're a coach and you see a guy in year 2 not having, let's call it, calm feet at this point.
You don't want to see it. I think you see it more than not, though, with second-year quarterbacks. I mean, because defenses catch up to you a little bit and how you play the game, and those defense coordinators are smart. They're going to know how to kind of make you feel something different. Now, I think he looks kind of the same as he did last year. Just he's sitting in the pocket a little bit too flat-footed. Just like waiting. He's not throwing with anticipation. I think Ryan hit it on the head with both of them. I mean, I don't think Shador is like seeing things like, all right, getting the ball out quick. I got to see it. I got to make sure it's open. And I'm going to be maybe a half to a half, 1.5 seconds late on every throw. Now, I don't think Deshaun does. I mean, I saw Deshaun throw a couple balls into the ground, on crossing routes. I'm like, you're a vet, dude. Like, come on, we can't be having
rip that, man.
Yeah, you just let it go, put it on him, and give him a chance. But I think you hit on that. This is the only way to go to see what Deshaun may be able to give you.
Yeah.
You give him. You got 2 road games to start. See what happens, and then you got to find out. And I think they will, because I don't think it's going to go so well. So I think they're going to be able to have plenty of time to see Shador in the game. And you also got to remember, he was a 5th round pick. how many reps did he get last year?
Not a ton.
How much work did he really get until he got thrown into? But once you're thrown into a game, it's like, all right, well, I'm trying to catch up because I've been playing scout team this whole entire time. I haven't been getting all these reps. So, you would imagine that if he gets into the game this year, and it's probably going to happen, you want to see just the continued maturity, the continued growth, and I think we'll be able to get that. Just right now during camp, not enough to say, no, you're that much better than Deshaun. We're going to go see what he can give us, and then, we'll come back around after we lose the first 4 games.
To your point about, the reps. When Monken hands him the keys, and I don't think it's going to be long until that happens, he's not going to have to worry about any of that stuff. The reps will be his every single day. It'll be all about him, and then everybody's going to get the answers that they need out of this.
And he's got a ton more during camp, and he can kind of grow off that and pull some of that as he goes into the season.
So he'll find out what he can do in this league. I guess more importantly, Andrew Berry and company will find out whether or not they believe in him come the end of the regular season. Coming up next in pre-snap reads, Todd McShay. He's not closing the door on a potential number 1 pick coming back to college next year. Find out who that is next. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Whoa, what's all this? These screens, the food?
All for the game, bro.
Dude, let us pitch in.
No need. I've got it all covered. With T-Mobile, I'm saving $1,000 bundling my wireless and internet.
No way. Really?
Yep, and the price of my plan won't change for 5 years.
Wow, I'm definitely switching to T-Mobile.
Goal!
Here to score big with T-Mobile. Families save up to $1,000 a year when they bundle fast, easy to set up, all-in 5G home internet with 4 phone lines on Experience Beyond. And your plan price? Guaranteed for 5 years. Stay connected con tu gente and catch every match with T-Mobile. Join now at T-Mobile.com. Price guarantee on talk, text, and 5G data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Savings based on third line free via monthly bill credits. Internet discount with $15 in monthly bill credits and auto-pay discount. Qualifying credit required. Credits may take up to 2 bill cycles and will stop if you cancel any lines or change plans.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. When your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, all you got to do is make sure you do your homework. There's a lot of doctors that are going to try to force you under the knife. And they're going to force you for a joint replacement. But remember this, once you go and start putting hardware in there and you replace a joint, there's no going back. I've had multiple surgeries. I have hardware in my body. I don't want to do it again. And that's why I went and saw my friends at QC Kinetics to get a second opinion. I had some knee pain. It was bothering me. I went and talked to Dr. Tesner and his team about how they were going to use the regenerative treatments to help my body heal itself. It's unbelievable. It's great. They'll start with the consultation. They'll show you the healing tools. They'll show you what to do. Surgery is your choice, your body. You need to take care of it. So call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion. The consultation is totally free. Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
How do you know you got a great deal? You came to Coghlan Chevrolet. Lease a new 26 Trax, only $129 a month. Lease a new 26 Silverado, $369 a month. Or get 0% financing and no payments for 90 days. Visit CoglanChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coghlan has the car for you.
36-month lease, $44.98 due at signing, includes $398 fee plus tax, title, and registration. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. 0% for 60 months equals $16.67 for 1,000 finance with approved credit through GM Financial. See dealer for details. Ends 8/31/26.
Inside or out, Billiards Plus has what you need for tailgating season. Fire up your new top-of-the-line grill for a perfect game day feast. Then keep the fun going inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Billiards Plus, the store you won't want to leave. Shop online or visit them on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
What defines Ohio?
A place that dares to go first and never looks back. There's no slowing us down. At Jobs Ohio, our mission is clear. Strengthen job opportunities and empower Ohio's workforce. Another reason why Ohio is now ranked the #1 state for business by CNBC. This is what unstoppable feels like. We did it together, Ohio. Our time is now. See Ohio's momentum at jobsohio.com/Ohio's time.
Join our resident gambling degenerates, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas, for On the Money, Sunday mornings at 9.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Pretty quiet as we go throughout the rest of your Wednesday. Mid to high level clouds pass on by. We'll say partly sunny overall with highs in the lower 80s. Tonight, there's a slight chance of a passing shower or storm, otherwise partly cloudy, mid-60s. For your Thursday, similar story, slight chance of a shower or storm, mainly in the afternoon. Most of us are dry, though, with a partly sunny sky and highs in the lower 80s. For The Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Welcome back in. Having a great time. Justin Zwick rocking out with us today. Former Buckeye, bottom of the hour. Max Torres covers the Oregon Ducks for Scoop Duck at On 3. He'll join the party here in mere moments. You know, Jay-Z, we were talking during the break about, football being back, and, FCS ball's on and popping tonight, my man.
Let's go.
You got a bunch of games. Ohio Dominican, good luck to them. They kick off at Morehead State, 6 p.m. A lot of these games are going to be on ESPN+. But if you're just looking for anything as far as football goes and real games that matter, in that world, they matter. And the FCS, is rocking and rolling, man. It's good to see, man. Just consuming all the ball you can get.
Yeah, I got a buddy who coaches up Youngstown State. They had the helmets lined up, and he was putting pictures out like almost game time.
Go, baby.
Like, here we are.
Let's go. A lot of focus going to be on Arch Manning this year. Todd McShay, he's been doing it for a long time, breaking down these guys as they leave college, going in to the NFL. I guess he's got a bit of an interesting take on maybe we need to all slow down just a hair when it comes to immediately putting him in the NFL in 2027.
Let's back off this expectation that he's the #1 overall pick and he's the guy and this is Texas's year. Because I got more news for you. I don't even know that the Mannings are looking at this as like the swan song at Texas. There's a long history of Manning sticking around that extra year that people didn't think they're going to stick around until they're right and they feel like they're ready. And I won't be surprised at all if he's in the 2028 draft.
I mean, I think there's a couple guys here that can kind of maybe continue a trend or maybe even make it more of a trend to stick around for a while, right? Like I was sitting right in the seat you were sitting in last year, watching SportsCenter Live, watching Dante Moore, getting ready to make his decision. I was sure I'm out. Jets,
Top
number 2
pick,
pick. I'm gone. I'm gone. He said, no, Matty Ice, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm coming back to college. And I think it's one thing where he said, got to get my game right. 10 interceptions last year for him, 8 of them against ranked opponents, so I want to level up there. But it's also the security financially, too, of what these guys can get. So you can take your time now. You don't really have to chase that. Now, it's a good bag because Dante Moore passed up over $50 million of guaranteed money, but he's being well taken care of. And so I think you can be real with yourself now. And if you're not ready, that's not the worst thing. And you don't have to try to speed up your football clock by going to the league.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the only good thing to come out of all this NIL or, just the way it's gone is because, I remember back in the day, like, you had guys leave early maybe when they shouldn't have because I got to start, I got a kid or I got this, I got family I got to take care of. I want to start making money now. And now you just have the ability to make a ton of money. A lot of times you're going to make more coming back for your senior year than you're going to make if you're going to be a 4th round pick, right? I mean, that money is real. So, it does give these kids an opportunity to say, I want to make sure that my game is where I want it to be. Now, maybe there's also a thing of, I really like college. This is a lot of fun. I'm making a ton of money and, I love this atmosphere. I love, where I'm at, the program. I'm going to go back, make some money and just make myself better. And hopefully the year after I go to the league and do what I want to do. But that's the only good thing is, like, yes, we might start seeing some of these seniors come back and say, that's good for college football, right? Every team, if you have these guys, older guys coming back, it just makes you more invested in watching them because they're really good, and it just is a lot more fun that way.
And maybe we get a couple more of the C.J. Stroud rookie year performances, Jaden Daniels rookie year performances.
They come in a little bit more ready, right?
There you go, man. Like, these guys have played so much ball.
You get your feedback from the league, right? Coming out of your junior year, like, hey, you could work on this or this. We like you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know where exactly you're going to fit, but if you clean this up, you're going to be first pick. All right, I'll go back and make. He's $5.5 million, and I'll go clean this up, and hopefully I'll look better to you guys coming out next year.
Right. And so you got the ability to stack up plenty of reps.
But with Arch, I think, Todd McShay saying, well, pump the brakes on the expectations. You've been feeding us all the expectations, for the last 2 years. Last year he was going to be the number one pick, in the draft. And it's like, okay, now you're telling us, so that means to me. He's talked to some people, and
for sure,
absolutely, we're going to see how this goes. But I'm going to start throwing this out there now. When the last 2 years has all been Arch is the number one pick in the draft. After his first season starting, and this and that and the other. Now it's like,
slow down just a little bit.
Slow down a little bit,
because it was a mixed bag. That's what it was. You catch him on one week, you'd see it. You catch him on another week, you're like,
everybody wants to talk. The end of the year, second half of the year, he turned it around. I'm like. I don't exactly, but there's like maybe 2 games he threw for over 300 yards.
Yeah.
And in one of those was like a comeback win against a team that they shouldn't have been losing to.
Right.
So what are we really, what are we talking about?
I'm glad you brought that up because you're right. They, after the Oklahoma game, played a decent amount of ranked opponents, that's for sure. Vandy, Georgia, A&M, and then they did play Michigan in that Citrus Bowl game. But to your point, Jay-Z, it was, the Oklahoma game. I'm sorry, let me make sure. Vandy game, 328-3. Good game. Good one there. 251 against Georgia and 1-1. Decent. 43 attempts. 27-43. Probably want that a little sharper if you can get it, but tough Georgia defense on the road. I understand that. But yeah, it wasn't this.
He didn't just go out and blow everybody out of the water and look like, the number one pick.
Yeah.
It was just like, all right, he had a couple good games and they needed him too, and he did step up. But everything that we had heard about him was like, he's the next guy.
Yeah, he was being talked about in the same breath as like an Andrew Luck.
And so for going into his second year as a starter to have somebody who probably is in the know saying, pump the brakes here a little bit, like, all right.
Then we all need to pump the brakes probably just a little bit. But that game is going to be as must-see as it can get around the landscape of, college football, man, because it was just the energy around the city last year around this time for that game was incredible. So those type of settings, that's what it's about. And 2 quarterbacks trying to showcase that, hey, this is the reason why maybe you take me ahead of these guys. Like all these little data points matter. These head-to-heads, right?
Mattered last year with Fernando. And whoever wins that game wins the Heisman, in a way.
So it's no doubt, obviously, a team competition, but these type of, like in the draft world, these can maybe sway, a scout or a GM or an owner or two to say, hey, I like what he did there in that environment. That's going to be great for Julian to showcase too, right? Because, hey, big-time opponent on the road. You mentioned earlier, you go into some of these venues, you can hardly get the playoff. Guys can't really hear you. And so how'd you guys get ready for that in practice, those environments?
Just big old speakers. And, my freshman year, we listened to Eminem, Lose Yourself. Maybe a million times because it was the hit song, and so every practice would just it's like the speakers are just blaring like crazy. But that's crowd noise mixed in too, so it just gets really loud.
How much does that help?
It helps, but I'll tell you this:
it ain't the same.
Penn State whiteout. You're not. You could be in the indoor with all the doors closed and blaring music, and you're not getting close to what that atmosphere was like. That was you couldn't talk to the guy standing right next to you, down in that end zone where all those students were. So it helps because you do get to go through your motions or your hand signals, and you kind of use that, the silent count if you need to. But live atmosphere is a little bit different.
And I think Julian, too, he seems like a guy, Justin, that's got that cool, calm, and collected.
California cool, right?
Man, and so I don't think he's going to be overwhelmed because I think he can tap back into, man, I was on the road in Ann Arbor. few months ago.
Snowstorm.
Snow globe, man. Yeah. Now I was out there ripping it, making plays. Bo Jackson was popping off. So those two guys, young guys last year.
I already played Texas.
There you go.
First start of my career.
Right.
What'd I do? I went out and was like 14 to 16, you know. Right. I did what they asked me to, and we won.
That's not a worry for me.
No,
him being overwhelmed by that moment or that environment. Can't wait to see what that looks like. Those are your pre-stop reads for today. Coming up in 2 minutes, we're going out to Eugene. We're locking in on Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks with Max Torres, who covers that squad for Scoop Duck on 3. Don't move. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Join your Reds for a 3-game series August 31st through September 2nd when they battle the San Diego Padres. Don't miss another Tarps Off Budweiser 3-2-1 Tuesday. Grab your friends and family and enjoy select $3 beers, $2 Bar S hot dogs, and $1 ice cream cups. Wrap up the series with some afternoon baseball on Wednesday, September 2nd with first pitch at 12:40. Get your tickets now at reds.com/tickets.
On this episode of Science Stuff, we're examining the fastest things on the planet, like the cheetah. It can reach a land speed of probably having an off day happens to everybody, but here is the American race car. People love the thrill of the... Okay. Next up is the Falcon. Oh, all right. Oh, Great Caesar's ghost, what was that? Why, I think we've found the fastest... Let's watch in slow motion.
Hi, it's Alex, the friendly Apex...
It's Apex Pros, the pros who knows. They're the fastest thing on the planet. When you have a problem with your plumbing, furnace, air conditioner, or electrical system, Apex Pros gets to you faster than apparently everything. Leaves are blown from trees. Paint is stripped from buildings. Mothers clutch their children's hands. Because when you have something broken in your plumbing, HVAC, or electrical, you don't want to wait.
Columbus loves Apex Pros. ApexPros.com.
Common Man here for Germain Hyundai, where right now $99 a month gets you your choice of a 2026 Hyundai Elantra or a 2026 Hyundai Kona. A brand new Hyundai for just $99 a month. And only at Germain, get free gas for 3 months. And with Germain's $1,000 price promise, no one will sell you a Hyundai for less. Find your $99 Hyundai today at GermainHyundai.com. With approved credit, Elantra $44.95 down, Kona $39.95 down, plus tax, title, first month's payment, 7,500 miles per year, ends 8/31.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony sometimes likes to sit and stare at his bundle of Emmy Awards. Unfortunately, it's through the glass of the pawn shop. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Gonna light up right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bring on Max Torres. Does an awesome job covering Oregon recruiting and football over at Scoop Duck on 3. Max, you've got myself, former Buckeye Justin Zwick in the house. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, Justin. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Man, let's get right into it. Let's start with Dante Moore, because this is a guy I have to imagine a whole bunch of Jets fans are feeling like, man, we should be getting excited to watch him in week 1. But he said, I'm going back to Eugene. So from your understanding, what went into that decision? Why did he come back for another year in college?
Yeah, I think a big part of it was really just Dante taking a step back and making a mature decision that he still has room to grow. And I think it was obviously a decision that was very calculated. You look at how well he did and how well the Ducks did last year, but they still had shortcomings. I think that, Dante probably looked at those games against Indiana and saw that there was room for him to grow, whether you're talking about processing speed or navigating pressure in the pocket. Those are kind of two big things that we're looking for right now in 2026. And then, some unfinished business with the Ducks and Dan Lanning. I think that Dante Moore is well aware of all the talent that's around him to do something special at Oregon and maybe get that first national championship for these Duck fans.
In Columbus here, we have a lot of new transfers. We've had 51 new guys come in this year. Who are some guys that Oregon's going to be looking at to take over a starting role for them that maybe hasn't been there for a couple of years or came in this past spring? Is there anybody that you guys are relying on to have a good year for you that you need to step up and be a player for you?
Yeah, I think if you're talking about transfers and new faces, I think that probably starts with Quay Parrish, the Minnesota safety transfer. Oregon had plenty of talent in the back end and still has an abundance of talent in that secondary under Chris Hansen and Rashad Wadood. But Parrish is really going to give them more or less a plug-and-play option to replace Dylan Thieneman, who, of course, is now with the Chicago Bears. So I think on defense, he's definitely one to watch in that secondary. And then DeAndre Robinson from UNC. He comes over to help bolster the interior for Tony Tuiotti's defensive line. All 4 starters for Oregon are back on the defensive line. That's one of the reasons that people are so high on this defense in 2026. But you can't win with only 4 defensive linemen. You got to have some other pieces around them to kind of solidify that depth. So I think Robinson's someone who could definitely come in there and help in the rotation. And then one more name I'll throw at you just on defense is Carl Williams, the Baylor DB transfer. He's in a thick battle, a heavy battle right now with Davon Benjamin, a true freshman DB for that starting nickel spot. They call it the star position at Oregon. So it's going to be interesting to see, as always, how these transfers, true freshmen, returners all blend together to put on the field what a lot of people are expecting to be a top 3, top 5 team.
Max Torres from Scoop Duck on 3 joining us here on The Fan to talk about the Oregon Ducks. Let's go back to the quarterback room. What's word on the curb with Dylan Raiola out there right now? Because I was surprised about that move going from Nebraska to Eugene. You still got Dante Moore in the mix. And so what's he turning into out there? How is Dan Lanning liking what he's getting from Dylan Raiola right now?
Yeah, that was definitely one of the more interesting developments of the offseason. It really kind of looks like he's going to be taking that Dante Moore path, come into the year and then be right there in the competition to maybe take over things once Dante Moore goes to the NFL. I thought that Raiola looked good in the spring game, and there's definitely some excitement around him internally at the Oregon program, with the Oregon program right now. There was some chatter that, he showed up a bit on the heavier side. So I know that they're just trying to kind of get his body right and, get him up to speed with the playbook and everything. He's going to be right there in the competition for QB2, a position that was held last year by Brock Thomas, a former walk-on that is also from Eugene. So I think that the expectation is that Raiola is going to take over that QB2 job at some point. I mean, he's won so many games in his college career. Obviously has a lot of experience as a starter at a Big Ten program in Nebraska. So I think the Ducks like what they're seeing from Raiola right now, although understandably all the focus is on Dante Moore right now.
You guys got a couple new coordinators coming in to take over for the team. Are we expecting, since they both were promoted, within house, are we expecting the same kind of stuff, or are we bringing a different little flavor on either side of the ball?
Yeah, I think I tend to lean more towards the, kind of more some of the same stuff. But both guys are going to leave their mark and, kind of make it their defense and make it their offense. I think more so on the offensive side, you're probably looking for even more continuity just because you have Dante Moore back for another year. Koa Kai was officially promoted to quarterbacks coach, and even though Will Stein was, the guy who had the actual title along with offensive coordinator last year, Koa Kai really worked with Moore a ton one-on-one, as did Drew Maringer. I think one of the big quotes going around was that Dante Moore called Drew Maringer the Albert Einstein, I think, of offense, or of football along those lines. So he's definitely pumping him up. Now we just got to see how that ultimately comes together and they deliver it. And then Hampton's been a DC before, hasn't done it since he was at Tulane, but I know he's had a big, big hand in what this Oregon defense has become since Lanning brought him over. So I'm really excited to see what he can do this year.
Max, where's this Oregon fan base at right now with Dan Lanning and what this is supposed to be this year, right? Because no doubt everybody's going to look at Lanning as one of the up-and-coming head coaches. He's going to be around for a while, probably doing some good things. But you run into some of those years to where the fan base probably expects you to do certain things. So what's the temperature amongst the Duck faithful as far as what they're expecting from this year?
I think the Duck fan base is expecting a pretty special year from Lanning. I mean, they're really happy with the job that he's done. I think if they were to have any quibs about it, it's just the way that the past couple seasons have ended with the blowout losses in the playoffs. So I think that they're definitely expecting a deep playoff run this year. I think that conference title has kind of lost some of its muster after what we've seen with some teams that do well and then don't end up in the conference championship, but then don't wind up, going as far in the playoff. And some people don't even want to go in the conference championship with the way that the playoff is structured now. So some people are calling it natty or bust. I don't know if I would necessarily put it in that realm right now. But I think the next step for this Oregon program, just from my 2 cents, is getting back to the national championship.
A lot of talk about Ohio State's schedule and how tough it could be this year. I'm not up to date on Oregon and who exactly they have, but what are a couple of their big games that we're going to keep an eye on this season?
Yeah, Oregon opens Big Ten play against USC down here in Southern California, where I'm actually based primarily for recruiting coverage. So I'm excited for that game. You know, what's going to happen with year 5 or Lincoln Riley era. I think that Lanning and Riley have kind of been, I don't know if I'd say attached at the hip, but discussed in conjunction quite a bit because they're both on the West Coast. They're both at 2 of the storied programs in the former Pac-12 and now in the Big Ten. So I think that's definitely a big one to start off conference play. Ducks go on the road, and they've been playing. I don't think anyone's been playing on the road in the Big Ten better than they have, which is pretty fun to say. And then you also have Michigan at home this year. Kyle Whittingham takes over after coaching at Utah for a majority of his career, bringing a lot of pieces over from there. I think that those are probably 2 of the big ones. And you can also say UCLA, a home game with Bob Chesney taking over the Bruins program. I think a lot of people are excited about just the direction that program's going. Seems like they have some people in the right spots now. Nico Yamaliava, what's he going to do in his last ride as a quarterback at the college level? There's a lot of exciting games, maybe not as loaded as it has been in years past, but some fun ones to watch for sure. All
right, we'll get you out of here on this one. One thing Oregon is definitely known for is their uniforms and just how they have so many different combinations. So a 2-parter here. What's your understanding of who gets to pick the uniform combination each week? And how many uniform combinations do they have year in and year out?
Ooh, that's a fun one. I mean, week to week, I don't know that there's one uniform decision maker. I mean, we've seen a lot of really interesting stuff behind the scenes of some of the documentary stuff that the program's done. I know that, Dan Lanning and his family had a cool story with one of their Stomp Out Cancer uniforms a couple years ago. Maybe it was this past year. I can't quite remember. So that was one that he certainly had more of a hand in. But I think that there's definitely some input from the players each offseason. I think there's a couple of players that kind of hear from the rest of the team, and they kind of go to meet with the design team, and they go about designing it that way. So I don't think I have an answer for you as far as who makes that decision on a week-to-week basis. I think it's pretty collective between the players and maybe some of the coaches or the high-level, admin within the athletic department, or maybe, the equipment department as well. They're involved. And then I don't even think I could tell you each year how many they have. I mean, probably because they mix and match, right? And that just creates that many more sets. So, I think that, probably I just had to guess. I mean, I'm really just jumping out on a ledge here, like 7 to 8 different ones that they could do, because they reuse some some components, and they bring in a new helmet here or bring back this part from this past jersey. So that's certainly what I'm looking forward to, is what threads are going to be rocking for this season opener against Boise State next weekend.
I know a lot of people are allied. One more. Talk about Phil Knight and his presence when it comes to NIL and what you feel and hear about his impact on the program out there.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Knight's impact on the program at Oregon can't be overstated. I mean, he's obviously the primary donor for, the athletic department at Oregon. And, he's definitely played a role in helping Oregon get to the point that they are at now. I mean, I can't say that he's super involved, at this later stage in his life. Maybe he was a little bit earlier. But I do think that he's obviously playing a huge role and what Oregon has been able to do from a player acquisition and player retention too. That's a huge part of it that doesn't really get talked about enough, I think, Justin. But I'm really interested just to see what kind of the overall, 25 year NIL plan is for Oregon right now, with whatever the future holds for them.
Max, we appreciate your time. Good luck covering the squad this season, and I'm sure we'll be reaching out to you throughout the year. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
There he goes, Max Torres from Scoop Duck on 3. We will hit the finish line of the show next with Tell the Truth with Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
I'm John Morgan. There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Reason number 3. First, all lawyers are not the same. If my family had an injury case and I couldn't hire us, there are only about 3 to 4% of the lawyers out there that I would hire. And here's why. Most of them rarely, if ever, go to trial. They just take the last best offer. Hell, you can do that yourself. Do this. If you're looking for a lawyer, Google Morgan & Morgan results and see what comes up. It may shock you. Then Google the firm you're thinking of hiring and do the same. That may shock you as well. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. We won a lot. $30 billion and counting. Morgan & Morgan, or thepeople.com. Who would I hire? I'd hire us.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Iconic summer moments deserve an iconic drink. Reach for Mountain Dew, an American original. From its beginnings in the foothills of Tennessee to your biggest summer yet. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since '48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com.
Our fantasy commish says for him it's all about the friendships. Cute, but I play to win. Like with Bet365. I get paid the second my team goes up big with early payout, and I get profit boost before the game starts with Early Bird Special. Enjoy the friends, Kevin. I'll take the wins on Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Claim an app. T&Cs apply.
Football season is here. Make sure your internet is ready. Kinetic's 100% fiber gives you the fast, reliable connection to enjoy live football on YouTube TV and watch up to 4 live games at once with Multiview. Check real-time stats and catch more big plays without missing a snap. Take your game watching to a whole new level. Switch to Kinetic. Save up to $120 on your first year of YouTube TV. Visit GoKinetic.com for details. Subject to availability and eligibility. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. Cancel anytime. Kinetic. Internet better.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Sounds like you heard about our special sale right now, where qualifying installs are 40% off.
Yep, it's why we're now offering 2 windows for the price of 1.
Wait, what was that?
That was the disclaimer. I can make up all kinds of things as long as there's a disclaimer at the end.
I'm not sure that's right, Wilson.
Sure it is. Listen, I can bench press 100 pounds. No, I can't. That's a lie.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
How do you know you got a great deal? You came to Coughlin Ford. Lease a new 26 Bronco Sport or Maverick, $399 a month. Get 0% APR on a new 26 F-150 Super Crew 4x4 STX or lease for $499 a month. Visit CoughlinFord.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
36-month lease, $29.98 due at signing. Not all buyers will qualify. 7,500 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. Excludes tax, title, and registration. $395 disposition fee at lease end. No security deposit. 0% for 36 months equals $27.78 for 1,000 finance. With approved credit through Ford Motor Credit. Ends 8/31/26.
Buckeye Replay this summer takes you back to some of the greatest comebacks in Ohio State football history.
The Buckeyes take down Minnesota in one of the biggest comebacks in college football history.
Hear Buckeye Replay this Saturday at 1 p.m. on The Fan.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky's Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Tell the truth with Rothman Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, TLC, take us to the crib, brother. What do you got in truth today?
All right, I'll tell the truth. I think Max Torres was justifiably confused because in real time, I heard it the same way, and it's easier for me to decipher it, but I'll let you hear for yourself.
Max, you got myself, former Buckeye Justin Zwick in the house. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, Justin. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
I felt like
I love that I was getting credit for some of that right there. I'm not gonna lie.
I felt like there wasn't a space between myself and Justin Zwick, and so I'm like, I can see how he thinks.
Yeah, when you play that back.
You know what? Because we almost had another Matty Ice You Played moment And so, now we got all kinds of guests confusing who our hosts are.
Man, yeah, I needed to throw like a comma in there, like a verbal comma in there.
Like a pause. Myself. And
former Buckeye Justin Zwick. So got myself, former Buckeye Justin Zwick in the house. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, Justin.
Do you think he thinks I'm like a weirdo when I introduce myself that way? Oh, hey, myself, former Ohio State quarterback Justin Zwick.
Actually, yeah, you made Justin look bad because you made Justin look like he's walking around.
That guy got off the phone and was like, hey, you guys ever talk to this Justin Zwick guy?
Former Buckeye, number 12.
He introduced himself as a former Buckeye to me.
Alamo Bowl, you know me.
That's on me, Jay-Z. Jay-Z, I'll take that one. That's on me, bro. That's my bad.
Columbus Destroyer. Just go all the way
to 1-for-1 in the Arena League. He thinks he talks to me that way?
He thinks Justin Zwick just goes, contributed to a book one time.
That's hilarious. That's good stuff.
It's almost like the time that Trags couldn't take your heat.
Talk about what was happening behind the scenes this year and what led to that end result. Terrible question. I'm out of here. Get this dude out of here. It's kind of a cousin to the whole Tress thing with me as well, like with Tito. Good to see you, Ice, and I wasn't there. So all these things kind of just are kind of related to each other in odd ways. But yeah, that's on me. I needed to throw a little comma in there, so I confused him.
Ice, good to see you.
There you go.
Talking to Jeff Thidoff.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I wasn't even there, Justin. I wasn't even at the outing. And
great.
AR starts the show, Rothman Ice, and Tress hits him. Ice, good to see you.
Ice, good to see you.
And Tito just roll with it.
Tito just
you have to.
Thank you. Of course. You
and
don't
then
correct
I told
Tress.
you that the next year at the exact same event, they got Tressel in the first set. So you were out again. And so it was Vegas in for you. And I'm listening to them in the preview. So someone's doing an update and then the theme song's rolling. So I'm listening to Tress just talk to, this isn't on the air, but I'm listening to Tress talk to Rothman and Scotty because he's literally about to open the show with them. And I see him turn to Scotty Vegas and say, oh, so you must be Ice, because he's listening to the theme song, Rothman and Ice. He knows which one's Anthony Rothman. He turns to Scotty Vegas, oh, you must be Ice. And I was so badly wishing Scotty Vegas would just say, yes, I am.
I'm your guy.
And he did not.
No, he corrected him, huh?
We could have had back-to-back years of Jim Tressel with two different Matty Ices, neither of whom were the actual Matty Ice. We almost had it.
That's great.
I love it.
But he
Shout
blew
out
his
to Tress.
cover.
Yep.
Tell the truth, are beaches overrated?
Oh, yes. 1,000% beaches are overrated. I am not a beach guy. If I do vacation this summer, I'm going up north.
Yeah.
Or out west.
Yeah.
I don't like sharks, and that comes with the beach. I don't like getting in the water. Yeah. You just sit out there and sweat. It's not for me.
Put me in a cabana at a resort. Have somebody come by. What do you need, sir? Can I get you an appetizer?
You get hot, you go cool off in the pool, you come right back down.
Plus, I've never been a fan of the hot sand on my bare feet either. That rocks and all that stuff out there.
If you get on a bad beach and it's like you can't walk without shoes on. Like,
that's tough, man. So I think it is. I think it's kind of overrated.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you just led me into another one that I didn't know that I was going to ask. But tell the truth. How old were you when you started getting Sir at a grocery store?
Ooh.
Didn't you just get Sir'd a little bit ago?
I did. So this probably happened to me, I would say 2 years ago is when it started to pop.
33.
So probably age 33 season for me.
I've been in it for a long time.
Right out of the gate, it's humbling.
Nothing pops for me. I'm like, oh, they just called me Sir. But I mean, if you got it at 33, I've had it going on for a while now.
But you project young, though. Like, you got a youthful energy to you.
Yeah.
And so I don't think, I think a lot of people, I've had people tell me before that they were like shocked to find out that you were 35. They're like,
yeah, I get that a lot.
I thought he was like late 20s.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I would say, you know what they say? Black don't crack, man. I'll take it.
Dude.
Look at me. I got gray in my beard. This guy is 50 years old.
Yeah.
Look at Harold Reynolds. Harold Reynolds is 65.
Crazy, man. He looks 40.
I know.
He looks 40.
It's unbelievable. It does not crack.
Yeah.
How old's Eddie Murphy? Like, I mean, he doesn't look young, but he doesn't look as old as he is.
How old is Eddie Murphy?
He's got to be 65, I would say.
Somewhere in that range. Where are we at with Uncle Eddie?
He might be close to 70.
65 on the nose.
On the nose. How about that?
Turned 65.
We need some theme music again.
April 3rd, 1961. There he is. He's probably
Still
kicking and living his best life.
He doesn't look young, but he doesn't look 65.
He doesn't look super old either, right?
Yeah. So, I don't know. But, yeah, I'm kind of with you guys on the beaches being overrated. Just a little bit. Like, I don't know. But the mountains are like the new trendy thing.
Okay.
But I'm kind of scared to go out there.
Yeah.
Because if I go face to face with the grizzly bear, I'm not.
You just got to take a friend that you can run faster than.
I know. That's actually, wow.
Here's a fall guy. Yeah. Take the fall guy.
Take a guy that you're not really that close with anymore, but you maybe were, hey, let's do this trip. And then you have a guy, I'm faster than you. But
see, I would love to do adventurous things like that, but my mind would be so consumed with that I don't think I would enjoy the experience. You know what I mean? Like, because there's so many cool lakes and mountains with all these beautiful views, right?
Oh, yeah.
But wildlife is a thing.
No, I got an uncle who takes people hunting up in the mountains, horseback, and I'll see videos of mountain lions up in the trees, and the dogs are barking. I'm like,
No,
I don't know. I think they're hunting me. I don't want to be hunting them.
Because my mindset is always, I'm going to catch that mountain lion when it's pissed off. Like, that's the day where the mountain lion's going to get pissed off, and I look like some fresh meat to him.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Y'all want to keep rolling like this? Then I need to know who's going to be the fall guy.
There you go.
Whoever's slower than me.
Whoever's slower.
What was your favorite childhood movie?
Ooh. I wore out that VHS Lion King and Toy Story tape. Wore it out. So those and Aladdin, probably that trio, those three, Jay-Z.
Now we're talking like when you're younger, right? I mean, high school was like Varsity Blues.
Okay, now
I was kind of living.
I'd say
a little bit of that.
Yeah. I'd say elementary school.
Yeah, elementary. I was big time Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles guy.
Okay,
nice. Yeah,
that's
I
a win.
loved them. Dressed up like them, Halloween. I loved
that's a good call.
The pizza and everything that they were in.
Yeah, that's a win.
If you're going to have a crew, one of them fools got to know he going to jail.
And that's Tell the Truth for this August 27th.
Justin Zwick, man, you've been great to us. You filled in the last couple weeks. You've been rocking out with us. We appreciate your time, man. Yep. Appreciate you there.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey, before we go, just a quick reminder, you miss anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. Just type in Rothman Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3, waiting for you right there. Subscribe to the podcast as well. TLC, great job on the board. Coming up next, Common Man and Timmy, both in the house. They'll take it at 6 o'clock. It's Too Hot Thursday. Adam Rittenberg at 3:30. Tyvis Powell joins the party at 5:30, so don't move. We love you. Stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow at high noon. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Y'all not going to all do the right stuff now, all right? So I got to teach y'all how to get around all this stuff, too.
The Buckeyes are ranked #1, so let's talk about them. Endless Buckeye conversation awaits you on your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan.